What's up, everybody?
What's up, kids? Yeah, fuck. Another Thursday, another episode of the Millennials are mad, and can I just fucking tell you, with every one of these we fucking do, I just want to burn this motherfucker down even more.
I'm getting more and more mad.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be therapeutic, Grib.
I mean, it was supposed to be. And then, it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be, be able to pay attention more to the world and, be more versed in what's going on in current events and, yell about the things that you absolutely hate as a form of therapy, but it just makes it worse at this point.
It does. It really does. It really very does.
Well, welcome in, kids. What do we got? Who we got in here? Let's see.
Mel.
We got Mel, we got Cherry, we got Richie, Nick
G. If you get an answer from us, it's the answer is yes. Could also be Ham, but it could be Grim.
It could be anybody. Yeah, the one that's in the Twitch chat was me because I just decided I didn't log into Twitch from my phone, so I just used the little chat bot here that answers everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yep. All right. Well, for those of you who missed last week, that was a nice little reprieve where we did not talk about anything harrowing by any fucking stretch of the imagination after our episode on Gaza. So we definitely needed a fucking little palate cleanser. And now we're back to doom and gloom because,
it was a nice lighthearted chat.
Yeah. Now we're back to doom and gloom where we are discussing ICE facilities, detention facilities, concentration camps, whatever you want to fucking call them, whatever flavor you fucking prefer.
It's all the same thing.
We're going to be discussing those today. Basically, how they started, who runs them, why they're run, and, some of the horrid shit that's happening, just to bring a little bit more awareness, because I'm sure a lot of you already know, because our feeds are full of it every fucking day, basically.
Inescapable.
You find something new going on with ICE or, the detainees or anything, highlighting, facilities like Dilley and Delaney Hall and, all that good shit. So we're going to go through a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and say up top, there's probably going to be a little bit of a trigger warning, especially when it comes to children in peril, because, why the fuck, what topic these days doesn't involve children in peril at this fucking point?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I guess, do we have any house cleaning or housekeeping before we dive into shit?
Nothing I can think of. Thank y'all for showing up.
Yes. And thank you for everybody who fucking has been here every single week, man. That's some diehard shit right there. Because we didn't know how people were going to respond to this, but you guys are fucking, showing that devotion. We fucking dig it for sure. Okay, well, I guess we'll just get right fucking into it. So let's kick things off by asking the folks at home, and I guess you as well, Matt, a simple yet significant question. How does one determine the price on a human life? Now, before you fucking answer, I have to, preface it with this. I'm not much of a betting man, but if I was, I'd wager there are a couple of possible ways a person could respond to that question, with each answer saying something vastly fucking different about the person's mental state, their worldview, or whatever. It depends on how you answer. So you know what? Go ahead and throw your answers in the chat. How does one put a price on human life? And we're going to read some of your answers, and I probably know how you're going to fucking answer, and you might answer in a way that I didn't fucking expect, which is definitely a possibility.
Number of hot dogs you can eat in 1 minute.
Let's see.
Everything else here is going to get dark, so I'm going with the lighthearted.
It just goes downhill from here.
Good God.
See, and the first one that pops up. See, there we go. All right. So if you answered with the argument that you can't put a price on a human life, congratulations, you're a fucking human being.
You're well done. Well done, gang.
Well done. But, every form of fascist fuckery that we're about to get into throughout this episode is very much going to prove you wrong, because apparently the upper crusts have been really big fans for fucking eons with slapping fire cell tags on human beings.
Yeah.
Since, any human hierarchy as a concept began, basically. But yeah, essentially, you're going to be proven wrong right here, but at least you're a decent fucking human being. And because nobody with a fucking soul is arguing that you shouldn't, be able to put a price on fucking human life.
Okay. feeds into the whole, like, everything is monetized. Everything is
Right.
dollars and cents, up to and
Everything
including our bodies.
seems to have a fucking price at this point,
Everything.
even the water we fucking drink. But then if you started listing in your head at least attributes, strengths, weaknesses, and some kind of twisted ass itemized list, or just simply answered with a simple, that depends. Congratulations, you're fucking dead inside psychopath, and I won't be elaborating any fucking further.
I
Um,
mean,
regardless if you're that dead inside piece of dog shit, or you're a decent fucking human being, you're going to need to strap the fuck in all the same, because we're talking about ICE detention centers, who runs them, how they run them, why they exist, and the fucking horrid living conditions these people that are mostly innocent, not the worst of the worst that they keep touting, have to endure on a daily fucking basis.
could you
Again,
imagine
like I said
if
up
there were
top,
that many just, like, horrendously deadly dangerous people just,
yeah,
like, getting snatched up from dropping their kid off at school?
yeah,
Like,
or going to their fucking immigration hearings,
or showing up for their shift in Congress?
Yep. Fucking Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's all fucked, man. But like I said up top, there's going to be a little bit of a trigger warning as we get into this. But before we start getting into the nitty gritty of it, I guess, let's take a trip in the Fix Your Fuck Ups device, or the time machine if you're feeling froggy. We're going to go back to a time before we were graced with wonderful agencies like ICE, who likes to boast rosters comprised mainly of Nazi fuckwits, all the way back to the distant year of 1983. So, actually not too fucking long ago. Almost, well, over 40 years, a little over 40 years.
A little over? I mean, just before, were you an '86 baby?
I was an 86 baby. End of
Yeah, so just
86, but either fucking way.
same.
But yeah, all the way back in 1983. So the concept of immigration detention is fairly new in the grand scheme of U.S. history. But around this time, enterprising, strapping old strap-ons Tom Beasley, who's a Texas businessman, Dr. Robert Krantz, who's not even a fucking doctor, that's just his fucking name. He's a middleman and a financial planner. And Tom Beasley's former roommate.
Does he have a
And
doctorate?
no, his name is Doctor. His middle name is Robert. His last
Get
name
the
is
fuck
Krantz.
out of my
Yeah,
ass.
that's
What are you
not
saying to
even
me
a
right
fucking
now?
real doctor. So that's fucking fun. And then former prison official, fuckface extraordinaire, Terrell Don Hutto. They formed something called the Corrections Corporation of America, or CCA if you're fucking nasty. Um, oh, and all the way, just in case you were wondering, they're all Republican. So
Oh, yeah, well,
how about that? But
I feel like that almost went without saying.
right, I mean, usually fucking does, but with some of these establishment fucks, who can tell at this point? But this merry band of dipshits formed the CCA to basically supplement a bit of the burden brought on by what was called the Tennessee prison crisis of the 1980s, where all of the state's prisons were ruled by a federal judge. They were deemed unfit for human habitation, uh, and they were deemed unfit due to the following. And let me know if any of this shit sounds familiar: lack of proper medical care, overcrowding, horrid living conditions, and frequent violent uprisings. Does that sound fucking familiar?
What?
I can't honestly think of where I've heard that shit before, but
Whatever do you mean?
yeah, it sounds fucking familiar. But
Please.
basically, after learning of this supposed crisis, good old Tommy Boy set his sights on fixing it. And don't you just love rich people with connections, working to fix a problem out of the goodness of their own hearts?
I feel like in this case, rich people with connections are like my version of inside jokes to Michael Scott.
100 fucking
Love
percent.
inside jokes. Let it be a part of one someday.
Because according to good old Tom over because according to good old Tom over here, you are full of shit anyway, because he's gonna make that goddamn bag while he's fixing this problem every fucking time. Because he's like, why not fix the problem, get in good with the government, make a few bucks on the side. Fuck it, nothing wrong with profiting off of human pain and suffering. So they started providing privatized prisons for mom, dad, and baby. Just a fucked up, forced fenced in fun for the whole family. But
Good times. Good times.
yeah. So they basically would open facilities for male prisons, female prisons, juvenile halls, medical or mental health facilities, that whole fucking deal.
Oh, and we all know the quality of mental health facilities back in the day.
Right.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's especially during the fucking Reagan era where he shut them all down and just like let them all fucking roam the fucking streets. Like they had nowhere else to fucking go. And that,
Well, you were saying the prison crisis was in the 80s, 83, you said?
yeah, that was the
That's
Tennessee prison crisis.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But
I was
around
gonna
the
say
80s,
that's mid Reagan's first term.
right? And when it comes like to the 70s and 80s, especially, that's where like a fucking just spike in violent crime was happening everywhere, all over the fucking country, especially in places like New York and shit like that. But yeah, it just got to a point where that spike in crime basically led to, all these facilities being at capacity. And they're like, well, fuck, what are we going to do? We can't just use taxpayer money to build a whole bunch of fucking prisons this quick. But, so
That's
basically
private.
Tommy, stepped in and decided he was just going to cash in on fucking confinement, essentially. Now, the CCA was later rebranded to Core Civic in 2016, I believe. But for now, they were called the CCA, the corporate, or what is it? Yeah. I'm losing.
I'm still fixated on this doctor fella, and I feel like,
dude, and it's so fucking funny too because like the two main players are Hutto and Beasley, but every now and then they'll throw the doctor in there, and I'm just like, this motherfucker.
You're telling me his first name is Doctor?
His first name is Doctor. His middle name is Robert.
That's fucking genius. But it's also like, what are you doing?
Well, if we name him Doctor, maybe he'll become a doctor. Fucking idiots. Because I mean, all these motherfuckers, like say they're from the Bible Belt or Texas, essentially. So I mean, and if my time here has been any indication, that's pretty on fucking brand.
That's just like the whenever this dude was born, you figure, well, he's 30, 40, 50 something. So probably sometime in the 30s. That was their version of manifesting.
1935, maybe he was fucking when one of them.
So yeah, back then their version of manifesting was we're just going to name him Doctor and hope for the best.
Right. Now, the CCA has a few accolades it can boast, including maybe taking their Prisoners for Profit business international by opening Blackenhurst Prison in Worcester, England. So they took that shit overseas. And a fairly known little federal
charming
facility.
name. Jesus Christ!
But here's an even more charming facility. It's a nice little facility you might have heard of, known as Leavenworth. Yeah, Core Civic opened that motherfucker. So
nice. Okay,
and that's where the supposed worst of the worst.
A stellar reputation as a prison facility.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially due to its inhabitants as well, because
like every biker movie you've ever seen is like I spent time in Leavenworth.
Leavenworth, yep. Or it's like it's either hardened criminals or like the most violent serial killers or whatever, or it's somebody in the government needed to just get rid of because they're inconvenient. That's essentially the two types that go to fucking Leavenworth.
That's fair. We need to disappear you. You're going to Leavenworth.
Right. But yeah, so they were established in 1983, but they didn't get into the immigration detention game until 1984, when, in collaboration with the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service, aka the INS, they converted their first facility was a converted hotel called Olympic Motel in Houston, Texas. Tell me if this sounds familiar, into basically a makeshift detainment camp. So they turned a motel in Houston into a makeshift detainment camp.
I hate this timeline. I don't want to be here anymore.
I know. I defy you motherfuckers to find anything or anyone with more filthy fucking rhymes than human history.
I hate this timeline so much.
No, it's fucking, I just want to burn it all down at this point. But honestly, that's as far as I'm really going to get into the CCA. I'm not going to get too far into the weeds with that. I just wanted everybody to kind of get an idea of how the privatized prison system kind of came into being, I guess, in our justice system and whatnot. But like I said, they did rebrand from the CCA to Core Civic, and they are one of the prime players in immigrant detention in that game, basically.
Sweet. All because some fucking hick-ass couple named their kid Doctor.
Yep. I mean,
damn.
It adds credibility. You fucking thought he was a doctor for a split second.
That's true. It worked. It did work.
Granted, you can also argue that nobody would be fucking stupid enough to name their kid Doctor, but we've been
Was it spelled doctor like
Oh, it's
O-R?
spelled like doctor, D-O-C-T-O-R.
Damn. Diabolical.
Yeah, dude.
I'm never going to recover from that. Just so you know. Like, that's going to fuck me up for months.
Oh, but anyway, let's see where we're at here. Now, while Core Civic is arguably the first and one of the main players in the privatized prison industry, if our capitalistic system is any indication, you've probably figured out by now that they're not the only fucking game in town when it comes to this goddamn racket. One of their main competition, we know them, we want to burn them to the fucking ground. They're a little company known as Geo Group. So if you've been following what's been going on at Delaney Hall, you've heard of Geo Group, I'm pretty sure.
Or if you've just been, alive with a pulse.
Yeah, basically, if you're actually paying attention to the fucking news. They were actually founded just 1 year after the CCA was founded. And they are the proud proprietors of such prison paradises as Delaney Hall. And they actually have an added bonus of being a prime player in privatized mental health facilities.
Good Lord, no. Come on.
Besides immigration detention, their bread and butter is mental health facilities. So a bunch of fucking, corporate fucking ghouls are overseeing,
Tight.
Yep.
That's what you want to hear.
It's all fucking money, I guarantee you. Not one of those motherfuckers are psychiatrists or doctors either. But so
it's fucking wild, man.
So both these corporations, essentially, they weren't established to be, immigration detention services, essentially, right? Especially for when they first were kicking off, like it wasn't very lucrative, relative to regular prisons, mental health facilities, all that kind of fucking shit, right?
Right.
It was a game, but it wasn't the only game in town. It wasn't the most profitable, all that kind of shit. It was just more of an offering. Then came a brisk morning in September of 2001, where I'm not sure if any of you've heard, but a bunch of assholes hijacked some commercial jets and flew them into some of the tallest buildings in the fucking country. It's a little event called 9/11, I believe, what we in the business call it.
Too soon.
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as that happened,
I live close. I can say that. It's a joke. Everybody calm down.
Come on, do you think I'm that fucking dumb? But I mean, that all being said, 9/11 happens. What tends to follow tragedies like that? Do you think?
Oh, rampant Islamophobia?
Rampant phobias galore.
Phobia in general. Immigrantophophobia? Xenophobia. That's
xenophobia being one of the more popular reactions. But throw in the fact that these attacks also happen to be committed by brown people. And you can top that segregation as shit Sunday with the racists of cherries out of the fucking jar.
Oh, yeah.
Because, especially if it was committed by somebody of color, guess what? It doesn't fucking matter if you're, a practicing Muslim. Doesn't matter. I mean, I can tell you're Muslim because you're brown more than anything.
You have to also consider that, every time a white person, specifically a white man, right, is guilty of committing any kind of crime, it's like you see the interviews of his neighbor. Where like, I had no idea we had a barbecue last week. He's the nicest guy, and it must have been a mental health crisis. It's always a mental health crisis. It's like we need better mental health for anyone who is any shade darker than lightly toasted. It's immediate xenophobia.
But they only want to talk about mental health if it as long as it doesn't fucking get their guns taken away or start that conversation.
Yeah. No, it's mental health is just kind of like it's the thing that they say, kind of like thoughts and prayers. You know what I mean?
Catch-all. Yeah, it's catch-all for
but they're not actually going to do anything about the mental health because that's socialism.
No, absolutely.
So
yeah.
That's 22 there. Gotcha.
Fucking bastards.
Wait, hold on. Why is everybody saying the floss? What's the floss?
What is the floss?
Alyssa said the floss. Primordial floss is the floss. I get it now. I'm caught up. Apologize.
All right, now we're tracking.
I thought they were getting your attention for floss.
I mean, unless the only thing I thought of was actual dental floss or that fucking dance that I definitely am not coordinated enough to fucking do.
Which I very sincerely also doubt that any of them have access to. Floss.
If they don't have the fucking teeth to use it for.
The shit we're about to get into, floss would be wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking that's if you're living on a fucking premium. But you know who probably does get floss? Fucking Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And her little
Flogged,
cushy
comfy
new
pillows.
fucking prison digs. Jesus fucking Christ. But anyway, so from the ashes of Ground Zero, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, was born. With ICE actually not being created until 2003. And of course, when you expand any kind of law enforcement, you need places to put all the extra fucking people you're arresting, especially if you're casting a wide net, as they've always kind of fucking done, especially now.
I think they only
Um,
have one size net.
right. Because, I mean, and most of these people are arrested for no other fucking reason than just numbers. Just numbers, baby.
Yeah.
That's all it is at this
They're the
point.
worst of the worst of the worst.
Right.
Absolute criminals. Abject
Right.
terror in the streets.
Exactly. And you know damn well as soon as this fucking happened, fucking like, and the fact that Core Civic and Geo had been kind of doing this for a minute, of course they fucking were immediately like, hey, like borderline fucking ambulance chasers, like, hey, got an
Right.
immigration problem? Need a place to put them? Fucking, we can get that shit for you.
Yeah.
Because they already had multiple facilities at their disposal as it was. I mean, whether it's because essentially, I want to say it was Tom Beasley. He was a businessman, particularly in the real estate business. So he already had properties that he could possibly, convert into some kind of detention center, at least temporarily. And that's going to be a big fucking thing too. A lot of pop-ups when it comes to certain, times of fear in the political sphere, essentially.
I just feel like it's funny, like their typical narrative about like who the villain is when
Yeah.
you have people like Tom Beasley walking around. That's a villain name.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
Tom Beasley?
Tom Beasley.
Sus. Immediately I have questions. What are you doing here? Who sent you? That's
I
wild.
immediately think that you're a Harry Potter villain. It was Tom Riddle. That was what it was. It was fucking Tom Riddle. So Tom Beasley, that's pretty fucking close. But yeah, as it was, since they've had multiple facilities at their disposal, and they've been in the private prison game for a minute now. They were basically shoo-ins for the government contracts that were to follow 9/11. Especially with W fucking flailing about, because I mean his whole thing was he was supposed to be an president of education, not a fucking wartime president. It didn't fucking age well, but yeah, they were shoo-in for government contracts. Not to mention, they were fucking fully engorged at the prospect of making a shit ton more money on human pain and suffering. You know what I mean?
I don't love your use of the word engorged there, but I'll take it.
Dude, at this point, they're just words.
It's accurate. It's accurate. It's accurate.
But I mean, I guess before we get into the fucking nitty gritty of the horse shit, it is important to kind of get a general understanding of basically the business plans of these kind of facilities, where the government fits in, what the business model is, who the proprietors, and who just fucking rents them out, all that shit. But kind of just in a nutshell, not every ICE detention facility is owned by DHS. Not every government contract involving immigration detention is handled by ICE or DHS. Sometimes those contracts belong to the city or county the facility is located in. Sometimes these facilities are owned by a company that's not even in the prison business, i.e. the fucking motel in Houston for a makeshift fucking detention center, the very first immigration detention facility that
fucking motel, dude. That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, it's all tied up in this weird, like, bureaucratic red tape kind of shit. Because I mean, essentially, not to mention, because if you're not confused, if you're not confused now, fucking add the fact that things like healthcare, food, transportation, security for detainees are also mostly handled by separate fucking contractors from separate fucking businesses.
Sweet.
So it makes it way more of a pain in the ass to be able to follow the money when it comes to this kind of shit, and the shit that's happening, like any like negligent, practices by the medical contractors or the medicine contractors, or the rotten food when it comes to the fucking catering and all that kind of shit. It makes it much more difficult. One thing you'll definitely see, especially when it comes to good old Trump 2.0 and his mass deportations, is they jump through so many goddamn hoops to tie any kind of allegation or any possible illegal action that they're committing in litigation hell, essentially. Like, I mean, the first thing we heard when it came to these facilities were they would all constantly move people overnight under the cover of darkness. So like family members had no idea where their, family member was taken. You also can't, you also have the ability to kind of get around habeas corpus in that fucking manner, because every time you move to a new facility, guess what? Your lawyer, if you're allowed one and if you fucking have one, has to file a writ of habeas corpus every single fucking time you were transferred to a new fucking facility.
That's assuming your facility is in the same state and your lawyer is also licensed in that state if it's a different state.
Exactly. Or if it's federal, or if it's fucking completely different, or if it's private, any of that shit. All of those factors factor into, how you can possibly, if not, get released or get like some of these abuses to fucking stop, at least prosecute it after the fact. But like I said, these motherfuckers throw so much bureaucratic red tape and try to get around all these fucking, gross abuses, that it makes it damn near impossible to keep up with every single fucking one of them. And I guess speaking of lawyers, by the way, so we do a fundraiser for the National Immigrant Justice Center. We've been doing that for a little while now. Kind of fell off of it for a little bit, but the link to it is in my link tree. It's basically a foundation that supplies over 2,000 pro bono attorneys for immigration cases.
Yeah, across the country in immigration court.
Right. So it helps basically fund those pro bono attorneys. So if any of these detainees, especially the ones that, are there for no fucking reason at all, but they can't afford an attorney, that helps out immensely, basically.
Yeah.
So you can check out the link tree, I believe, on mine and Ham's, and you'll see.
Yep, it's also on mine.
A link to get to the NIJC if you feel the need to donate to get these people taken care of in a legal capacity. Well, as much as they can in this fucking hellscape.
I can't even remember my rant anymore. I had a real nice little. I was quick with it, but it's gone now. Scroll brain.
ADHD is fucking bad. Let's see. Also, if they wanted to make a little bit more money off these fucking, detainments, incarcerations, confinements, whatever you want to say. Corporations like Geo, for example, invest or own companies that are specializing in surveillance, particularly post-release parolee monitoring. So not only do they make money off these people while they're in prison or while they're in these detainment centers, they're also making money when they're out as well, through ankle monitors, through whatever means they feel they need to monitor a potential flight risk, which of course they could probably slap that designation on anybody for that matter. But I mean, it's just the profiting off of humans just gets under my fucking skin. And I think this is why this particular topic has always fucked with me and always had a lack of a better term, special place, in my being, because the fuck, dude?
It's legalized human trafficking. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, it's state-sponsored,
and barely legal,
human trafficking.
Barely at that. Because I mean, again, talking about the conditions that you've mentioned and the things that they're lacking in, just so everyone is clear, these things are there is a global set of standards through the UN for prisons. It's called the Nelson Mandela Rules. If you're not familiar with those, you should look them up. But it basically just sets the minimum acceptable benchmark for safety, healthcare, dignity, confine all of it, solitary confinement, the conditions of confinement, all of that stuff. There are minimum acceptable standards, and the UN has we've all agreed to them. And this is happening here on our soil with your money.
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't gotta because we're the top member of the fucking UN and shit like that. We can get away with whatever the fuck we want. And that's going to be a pattern we're also seeing throughout all this bullshit.
Yeah, because the US has veto power, and bet money that's going to be something that's going to be a conversation that has to be had in the relatively near future.
It's been had a lot, especially with declaring what Israel's doing in genocide. That plays already a huge fucking factor in even recognizing or acknowledging the fact that that's happening over there.
Yep.
So, I mean, with this shit, it does feel like even if other countries did intervene from a diplomatic standpoint, it wouldn't do much fucking good for us if the person, in that room with them, the American in that room with them, is part of administrations like this, for example.
Right. Exactly.
But I mean, honestly, like our whole system anyway is fucking, obviously our justice system is glaringly flawed. I mean, and it's powered by laws implemented mostly by a bunch of money grubbing fucking bigots anyway. Like that's where a lot of, I mean, that's kind of what you said in our modern white supremacy episode, where a lot of these bigoted ideas were put in place by, the
Yeah.
wealthy men essentially. And I mean, not only does it do that, it plays a fucking pivotal role in influencing public opinion. Because I mean, I don't know how many times anybody, like if you're arrested, if you have a record, it doesn't matter how minute it is, matter how minor the charges, people look at you down on you, period. So if you're
Always.
in a position where fucking you can influence public opinion and shit like that, you can get away with pretty much fucking anything. And I will tell you, and I mean, it's something that we all definitely know is like nothing can get a motherfucker richer than racism.
It's the easiest and fastest way to get rich, I think, in this country. I mean, that's like
Essentially,
you
yeah.
said, that's how all of these things are just systems that were put in place to benefit a certain class of people.
Mhm.
A very specific, like rich white dudes, basically, in the
Well,
shorthand,
yeah, and
right?
basically line their pockets in whatever investments that they're in. Like, I mean, for example, with the whole even barely THC ban here in Texas, I mean, we have so many freaking prisons in this state that I mean,
Yeah,
you
wasn't there like a 60% approval rating for legalization in Texas or something? It
yeah.
was like
Oh, dude, it's
63%.
higher than that. Yeah. I mean, they passed. Like I said, it was barely even weed to begin with, but they passed
That's
it in
crazy.
2021, I believe, and then sure enough, they just fucking closed it down again. Because one could, I mean, but with all that shit, one can argue that they do it for like the liquor lobby, especially in Texas, where we fucking drink and drive for sport down here.
Yeah, of course.
Or you could argue that it keeps asses in the prisons to where you can
Both.
exploit the cheap labor and get paid by state, local, and federal fucking
Right.
government to do basically whatever the fuck you want.
And they get paid a fuckload of money per head.
Right.
Like, they get paid a shitload of money. They don't spend even a fraction of it on the actual people in the prisons.
Right. And of course, the fucking, public opinion being as racist as it's always fucking been since we fucking landed on Plymouth fucking Rock.
Yep.
It does make it easier to fill those up because you can get a charge on anybody if the entire public opinion of that person, just because they have a darker shade to their skin, is automatically a fucking criminal as it is.
Exactly.
So it makes it a
Exactly. And
lot
it
easier
works
for them to
it cuts both
justify
ways.
it as well, because it goes back to the
It's race
dehumanization.
and class, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've got a way to demonize a group and keep the group that you hate subjugated, and then you've also got a way to separate yourselves from poor people, basically, and say like just keep poor people poor. That's the thing that people don't realize. And this is true not just for the folks that are in the detention centers in this country, but also for a lot of folks that are just from here.
Mhm.
It's very expensive to be poor, right?
Yeah.
Like you and people always like, well, what do you like? You live off, but like that's the problem. You live off of cheap shit food that makes you sick. Our food makes you sick,
Right.
and
And
then you can't get health
even
care.
worse
You
now.
can't fucking you can't do anything about it. And all you got to
Right.
do is work, fucking 3-4 jobs, try to keep the fucking the cabinets full, but the whole time you're just a hamster in a wheel
And
at
it's full of
best.
that, and it's full of the processed shit made in factories where they just relax the
Yep.
fucking health code uh, restrictions and whatnot. I
Yeah.
mean, even fucking more. And
I mean,
yeah,
look
no,
at even there was a conversation a while back. It was like you could get a cheeseburger at McDonald's for $1,
yep,
but like try putting a salad together for $1. Try putting something healthy, like a healthy meal
no,
together for the same amount of money it costs you to buy McDonald's. It can't be done.
no, absolutely fucking not. I mean, even with like, I mean, what in like 2010s where like the organic shit was like the trend and whatnot, and it
Yeah.
cost double what a normal I guess a processed version of whatever fucking
Right.
food item that was.
Really makes you wonder though, like even back then, if it was twice as expensive, god damn, man. Like if it was really better than the processed stuff, and it may very well have been. I certainly didn't know because we couldn't afford that shit, but
Right.
like kind of makes you wonder what the fuck you've been eating this whole time.
Well, I mean, fuck, dude. What was it? The government cheese? Didn't that spawn from the Reagan administration? So I'm pretty sure my ass grew up on government cheese for a little while.
I do love me some government cheese though. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, fucking just bricks of that shit. Remember that fucking shit. All right. Well, that kind of gives you the idea. Now we're gonna kind of get into a couple of the facilities again. Fucking trigger warning because we're about to get into the abuses and whatnot. And we're gonna start with one that a lot of you are familiar with, the Dilley ICE facility in Dilley, Texas. So kind of my neck of the woods. Now, not really because it's still like a 6 hour drive from where I live to get to Dilley. But
Everywhere
you
in
know,
Texas is a 6 hour drive. That's
o-
insane.
obviously I wanted to highlight, one of these facilities in my own backyard because again, our state is, basically runs on prison labor and, making sure prisons stay at capacity.
Right.
Um, Now, I mean, I'm going to say up front, I haven't spoken enough about the Dilley facility. And I know I pretty much probably should have, and maybe this is my fucking, penance if you believe in that kind of voodoo. But that's kind of one of the main reasons why I wanted to highlight it because I feel like I wasn't talking about it enough.
Well, part of this stuff too, just to take a moment for you as well. Like part of this stuff, it like y'all, we do our homework right when we start talking about stuff. Like obviously we have a base level of
Right,
understanding and knowledge,
right.
but like the one we did a couple weeks ago with Gaza and all that stuff. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of stuff that you don't know until you know, right? Like there's a lot of shit that you maybe don't realize how bad it really is until you do know it. But it's a learning experience, and I think the important thing is that you're doing it now. So
Yeah,
beat
I
yourself
mean,
up
it's
about it.
better than not doing anything at all, I guess. And that was always the thing we've always said is like I could not do something, no matter how fucking small or big it is.
That's it, man.
Um, but yeah, that was basically the main reason why I wanted to get into this one. But this one in particular is run by Core Civic, so the CCA. It was constructed in 2004 under the Obama administration when he was in his deporter in chief era. Um, it closed the Biden administration closed it down 10 years later, so in 2024. And what do you know? Fucking good old Molesticon Don opened that motherfucker up the following year.
Of course he
And
did.
as it stands, it is currently an over $15.6 million drain on the American taxpayer a month for this
A
specific
month.
a month,
Nice.
not a year,
Nice.
a fucking month. They're just fucking hemorrhaging cash over there at the
That's
fucking government.
encouraging.
Like, I mean, wonder why we're fucking bankrupt and can't get healthcare and can't get decent food and can't get any fucking thing. You're gonna
Well, they
spend it on
said
this
that
fucking bullshit.
if he continues at this rate, Trump will, I think, have been responsible for over 43% of the national debt alone.
That
By
track,
the time his second term ends, he'll be responsible for over 43% of the national debt, which
with
is
yep, with the aid
fucking
to
insane.
Israel, with the fucking war in Iran, like all that shit, man. He's basically pissed away our money. I mean, that's always kind of what we said too. Is basically he's just selling this fucking country for parts. It's like
That's it.
he's selling the country, its values, and its fucking people essentially
Yep.
for parts. And he does not give a fuck if he runs up that deficit because guess what? This is his last fucking term. If he doesn't, his demented ass doesn't think he can run for a fucking third term again, which would be,
I'd be shocked if he lives to the end of his second, to be honest with
God,
you.
I fucking hope so. But yeah, I mean, so $15.6 million drain a month on the American taxpayer on this specific facility. Now, keep in mind, like I said, not all these facilities are federal. Not all these have government contracts. So, I mean, but this one in particular is definitely funded by the American taxpayer. Um, but the Dilley facility in particular it's a specific hot button topic due to the tenant demographic of this one, which is families, whole fucking families, including children, which they have a good amount of fucking kids in the Dilley ICE facility even fucking today. Um, but I mean, I'm going to use basically. Let me give you a quick disclaimer. The following use of the term allegedly that I'm going to use is for the fucking courts because right now there are more than a few ongoing investigations into some of these human rights complaints and all that jazz. But I mean, while I'll say allegedly, I don't believe these motherfuckers didn't do this shit once.
Yeah.
Beyond a stretch of the imagination, I don't believe any fucking denial these assholes have to offer. And because I mean, it's it's gotten to the point where I mean, it is like cartoon TV show fucking villain level shit where they just kind of just do this shit out in the open, and
Oh yeah.
it's obvious to us, but I mean, apparently not to fucking everybody.
No,
Um,
they didn't watch much cartoons. They were
yeah,
trying to
but essentially we
busy
know
trying
they're
to
full of
cut
shit.
the lines.
Yeah, essentially we know they're full of shit, and odds are the majority, if not all of these complaints are 100% fucking true, but I don't want to get sued. So we're going to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I don't feel like getting sued. So we're going to say allegedly.
These are
Um,
alleged facts.
but
Attention
getting
judges.
into it, here's a
I
few
give you
other
that.
reasons it's a hot button issue. Basically, since Supreme Leader shits his pants reopened the joint, the Refugee and Immigration Center for Education and Legal Services has documented more than 1,500 medical complaints, more than 100 complaints of prolonged confinement of mothers and their kids, and the psychological trauma accompanying that shit. Um, no, obviously the greatest hits: no clean drinking water, shitty, rotten, worm-infested food. If they get fed at all, and
Yep.
lest we forget the numerous allegations of straight-up physical and sexual assault among the detainees and even prison staff, for that matter. So it's not just the detainees. Yeah, so I mean, some of these complaints come from actual staff.
That's wild.
Um, right. I mean, in these assaults, I mean, their role in these assaults range anywhere from basically creating the environments where this can happen among detainees. So, example, putting kids that aren't related to each other in one fucking cell to separate them from their families and whatnot, where all kinds of fucking, bad shit can happen in there, to actually committing the assaults themselves. Um, Regardless, with, violent natures and neglect, essentially everybody's getting fucking assaulted in these goddamn facilities.
I wish it were more
Um,
surprising, honestly.
right.
Like,
Uh,
that's the most
with
disgusting
Dilly,
part.
with Dilly in particular, the most notable instances is one being a guard almost breaking the hand of a 5-year-old Honduras boy who went to go give the dude a high five, missed, and accidentally hit the dude, and it pissed him off so much that he jerked that kid's fucking hand and basically almost broke it. It was, bruised, swelling, all that kind of fucking shit. And of course, inadequate medical attention for that. They basically threw some ice on it and maybe an ace bandage and went on about their fucking day.
A totally
Um,
appropriate reaction to a child.
right. And this one's even more fucking appropriate. The worst one is allegedly withholding care and letting an 18-month-old critically ill baby die because mommy didn't sign her deportation papers fast enough for their liking. They essentially separated her baby from her, did not take care of her.
The kids, though, right?
Yep, did not take care of her, um, and held that over the mom's head because she, wasn't signing the deportation papers to basically expedite that process so they can get more people in that motherfucker. So those are the glaring ones with Dilly. At least that it can be confirmed without getting fucking sued. That is, there are several other allegations involving, pregnant detainees, which has been kind of running rampant over multiple facilities.
Mhm.
But
Allegedly.
I mean, and honestly, it's gotten so bad, especially all the allegations of mistreatments, specifically happening to children. I mean, has gotten so bad to the point where fucking Miss Rachel, it got her attention. And Miss Rachel, quick little fucking side, that is a human being that at this point I'd fucking kill for.
Protect at all costs.
Like I would
Honestly.
stand 10 toes down for Miss Rachel because she fucking like one of the few public figures as well known as she is that actually stands 10 toes down on her convictions. That is
Hell
something that
yeah.
I cannot understate, how much I admire essentially. Um, because I mean, and it's so funny because all she says is all children deserve to live
Right.
and
Right.
happy qualities of life, all that kind of fucking shit.
She's
And
not saying
apparently
anything
that's
revolutionary.
right. Like it's, yeah, apparently that's just a fucking novel concept. I didn't realize how fucking, how rare that sentiment is in the general fucking public, essentially. What a
And I
fucking
mean,
concept.
especially for someone of her stature, right? On the interwebs. Like it y'all, I mean, neither well, Grim, you're a little bit bigger, quite a bit bigger actually. I almost just gave myself a little feather. Quite a bit bigger on Instagram, especially. But like it takes a long fucking time to build up the followings and the presence and all that shit.
Yeah.
And at the level that she's at, it's her entire livelihood. I would bet.
She started out on
Um,
YouTube, I think.
and it takes some fucking balls to like be like, nah, I don't give a shit. This is I said what I said. Because she I mean that's one of the things I think I admire most about her is that she's standing 10 toes down, and she didn't stutter at all. She didn't
No.
trip up.
Ever.
There wasn't a, oh, let me take a beat to think about what I'm gonna do next. She just
Nope.
went, no, fuck you.
Straight up. And that's
And hell
yeah.
yeah, man. That you love to see it.
And that's what really fucking boils my blood is the fact that it takes balls to have that stance and say it publicly at this fucking point. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, she's one of the few human beings that I would probably kill for. And due to the fact that apparently this isn't quite as popular of a public sentiment in terms of protecting the kids, I might fucking have to at this point with these people. I
Yeah.
feel
Well,
like
and
it
consider, I
anyway.
mean, that's, I mean, especially with the kind of content that she makes and the stuff that she focuses on, like
Right.
that's the world we live in now. A ton of people rely on content like hers to help occupy, but also educate their kids and like teach them good stuff and all that. And I mean, we've been in the cancel culture world for a long fucking time now,
Yeah.
and it don't take much for especially that side to get all up in arms
Oh yeah.
and decide that's it. You're
Even though
fucking
we're
cut
the
off.
crybabies. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Useless fucks. I swear to
Yeah.
Christ.
Put
But
it.
yeah, I mean,
Put a trans person on a beer can, see what happens.
oh my god, yeah. What is it with their fucking like beverages that they just rail
I don't
against?
know.
They
Who
rail
drinks
against
Bud
what?
Light anyway? That's what it is.
Starbucks, Coke, Bud
Oh,
Light.
yeah. Starbucks cups say happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas.
They got pissed off at Cracker Barrel for updating their fucking logo. Like,
What do they change it to? White people barrel?
fucking, they took the white person off of it. That's what got that's what got them all pissed off.
Big mistake. Good
Oh yeah,
lord.
that fucking like they basically course corrected a week after they announced that they were changing their fucking logo after all that backlash. Because,
God.
never
Good God.
mind, basic human decency, the needs of the many and all that kind of fucking shit. My Coke can doesn't let me say a half-ass Bible quote that I barely fucking remember that I'm trying to show you how I'm a fucking benevolent
In
human
a
being.
book that I've never fucking read.
Right, exactly. But I mean, either way, with the fucking facilities, whether you're a fucking detainee or you're a fucking protester, like you're just these people fucking want you basically suffering and out of the fucking way as fast as fucking possible.
Well,
Because I
they
mean,
hate
fuck,
the
if you show up, if you show up protesting to protect all the fucking children like you're supposed to, they'll just send out their fucking goon squad to tase and mace and just beat the living fuck out of you the old-fashioned way if need be.
Well, have you heard about their newest expense that's projected?
Shot gloves.
Shot gloves.
Yep.
$20 million on
Yep.
gloves to tase people.
Can't even get body cams on these motherfuckers, but shot gloves.
Shot gloves.
And even with the body cams, I don't know if you've heard this, but yeah, they're going to distribute body cams to all the agents, but they're not going to have it be company policy that they need to divulge the recordings of said body cams.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Basically, unless it benefits them. If they need to cover their ass, then
Which,
yeah.
going back to the premise of this entire show and the cost of a human life, think about the fact that they're going to distribute body cams to their agents. They're going to charge the government for those body cams, and then they're not going to require the actual inclusion of that information if there's an investigation. So we're going to make you pay for the body cameras, but we're not going to give you anything that you should be getting as a result of those body cameras if we don't want to. But you're still going to pay for it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and I don't know about you motherfuckers, but companies that follow that kind of logic are just, they seem like straight-laced fucking by-the-book honest companies to me.
Hell yeah.
And in no way would they commit human rights abuses or whatever. Any of these
never.
allegations are just false. Fucking
and that's why we say allegedly, kids.
That's why, yeah, we have to say allegedly. Yeah, allegedly to all that shit, but we know it. And at first I was actually going to go into a few of these facilities, but as I kept digging into, all of the fucking abuses and allegations against these facilities, they all pretty much were similar. I mean, similar complaints from anywhere between, inadequate medical care, shitty food, shitty living conditions, abuse, all that kind of fucking shit. And honestly, even those reports are just what they let out to the public.
Right. Yeah. That's
There's no
just the
way in
stuff.
hell, because DHS or any of these facility, any of these companies don't really have solid official numbers when it comes to complaints,
Of course, because
deaths.
it's out of their hands,
Right.
right?
It's completely, yeah. There's nothing they can fucking
It's out
do.
of their hands. So
They're
like,
just,
oh,
yeah.
we can't do anything
We
about
just
it.
work here. I don't know what the
I can
fuck you're
call a
talking
guy
about.
for you.
It's fucking stupid. But I mean, basically, put it this way, to give you a little bit of perspective, in just 60 days of Trump's second term, DHS was already receiving thousands of human rights complaints, including deaths due to consistent medical neglect, physical and sexual assault of staff and detainees of all ages, genders, and sexual orientation.
Cool.
These types of assaults actually ran rampant amongst LGBTQIA community detainees, particularly gay men, were got the
Unsurprising.
majority of the brunt of that. Um, of course, separating parents from their kids to coerce a quicker deportation process, abusing or neglecting pregnant detainees, including the use of shackles, overcrowding, inedible food, the prolonged solitary confinement of children, and finally, good old whistleblower retaliation. So even if you're not a detainee, but you blew the whistle on these motherfuckers, enjoy law enforcement stalking you and making your life a living hell, or trying their
Also, I
damnedest.
just want to make sure y'all caught one of those last lines. Solitary confinement for children.
Yep.
Want to make sure that one stuck.
They're throwing kids in the shoe.
Yep. Prolonged or otherwise, that's fucked.
Yes. I mean,
Like
but yeah, I
at
mean
any
that,
length of time, that's fucking
but
what?
that's a primary sticking point in terms of these complaints, is it's prolonged. Like they'll fucking put those kids in there for days and not really even check on them barely, unless
Cool.
they're being violent or whatever. I mean, also gotten to the point where fucking they let detainees in some of these facilities tie nooses out of sheets if they're feeling the need to check out early, and they just let that happen too. Because basically at that point, again, it's out of our hands. We didn't tell them to do that.
Yeah. I just left them alone for a minute. That's what they did.
Awful lot of motherfuckers, just missing something involving a noose and a bed sheet in a prison lately.
It's just goddamn. Goddamn.
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much. Because I mean, the majority of these two, I mean, like I said, a lot of the services within these facilities are actually delegated to other contractors, including security, aka the guards and whatnot. And some of
Right.
these facilities, these companies don't adequately train their fucking guards at
Of course
all.
not.
And so it gets to the point where the turnaround rate is uber high, because they either get fired because of the use of excessive force because they weren't fucking trained properly, or they just quit because not only are they trained shitty, and some of them, are in these shitty facilities, they get paid very shitty too. And we'll get into it a little bit more later, because I kind of want to touch on the now former alligator Alcatraz, but like these guards were making like $23 an hour.
That part actually surprises me given the sign-on bonus when they were hiring ICE.
Well, ICE is, I guess, different than, say, I mean,
True, yeah. That's gonna be a
granted, ICE
different
is there to kind of guard the building now, as far as crowd control and protesting, is along with
guard
the
the
local
building and
police.
snatch them off the streets and shit, and then
Right.
they
And
don't
I
have to
mean,
do anything
they're
else.
in the area anyway. Yeah, they have a place to fucking put them. But like in terms of the actual staff of these facilities, it's a little bit different. Either way, the similarities are, in the shitty training or the just complete laissez-faire attitude towards any possible violation against human rights and dignity when it comes to detainees, because it always comes back to what? Dehumanization. It's what
Yep.
we talked about in Gaza. It's what we talked about with the white supremacy groups and how they treat people of color. All that shit. It all comes down to dehumanization, so you can compartmentalize the horrid shit you're doing for money, essentially.
You imagine
Um,
how angry those stupid fucking racists were, by the way? Like, imagine like going to get a job at an ICE facility and being like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna fucking," and then realizing that you don't get a sign-on bonus, you get paid like shit.
yep, yep, pretty fucking much.
Of course, they're gonna act out and do what the
Um,
fuck they want because that's their thinking. I'm getting paid fucking nothing. I'm gonna take advantage where and when I can. That's fucking crazy.
it's fucking batshit, dude. Like, just the reasoning. and the justifications too they use to pull all this fucking shit, it's just mind-numbingly fucking frustrating because like it's again it's cartoon villain level shit
Yep.
that if you just read a fucking a extra couple of sentences in a book, you probably fucking
Take them
notice a pattern.
months.
I mean,
It's way too much work. That's the thing is it's so fucking like if you like I say this as a joke often, but I mean it almost literally at this point. Like if you have more than 4 Skittles bouncing around between your ears,
mhm.
it is so obviously rooted in bigotry and racism. Like it's so obvious and no willingness of any kind or ability for that matter to acknowledge that.
No, because I mean, you can't take accountability for what you
No, why would you do
basically
that?
don't see.
You're
I
nuts.
don't see it, so it's not happening. Basically,
Right.
too wasted to remember. It's not cheating. You don't remember it. It never took
Right,
place.
right. Exactly.
Fucking stupid ass fucking logic like that.
Doesn't count if I don't
Um,
remember it.
but either way, there is one glaring thing I neglected to mention about some of these complaints, and that omission was the fact that those complaints came from the facilities run by the supposed industry professionals. There's a whole crop of other facilities that aren't run by supposed industry professionals. So, what of the shackles Shangri-Las run by a bunch of dipshits whose only qualification include mad skills like giving the president an over the pants handy with very minimal chasing outside of the usual fucking diaper rash that old Donnie gets.
Ugh.
That's their only fucking qualification. They get close to Donnie, they stroke his fucking ego. They're friends of, maybe Jared Kushner or whatever the fuck. They have
Then you
no
gotta, like
fucking I mean, it's the same with his cabinet, with the exception of, like, maybe, what, Rubio, who's the only one who had, like, political experience other than
yeah, but
JD
he's
as
got big
well.
shoes.
Yeah, well, no shit. Fucking little hobbit little bitch, I swear to God. I still maintain that motherfucker is not gonna outlive Trump. I think he's gonna stress himself out and shrivel
It's
and die.
possible. It's possible. I mean, you think about it, how many times he's been in the room when Trump either shit his pants or farted himself awake.
Yep.
At some point, those they it has to affect the brain, the
Or the
fumes.
reactions on his face when Trump said the very fucking thing he told him not to fucking say during his little speech. Like, you always see when he knows when Marco winces at something he said, damn well it was like, I told
Yeah,
this
but that
motherfucker not
wince,
to say
it
that shit.
says so much. That wince was hysterical. He was like, "You dumb piece of shit." Like,
Motherfucker, like, I'm trying here, dude. You get the fucking death of me. I'm gonna You still got those Quaaludes? I'm gonna take a fucking overdose of that.
right?
Jesus Christ, dude. But
Still got any of those rolling around?
But yeah, when it comes to these fucking places just run by a bunch of goddamn yes men, look no further than good old alligator Alcatraz. In good old Florida, it's finally fucking shut down because people have kicked up enough of a fucking fuss about it. Um, for it to
Just
get
barely
closed
too,
down.
honestly. Like
Basically,
that shit.
basically
Oof.
coax the fucking federal judges to make the order to close that fucking shit down. And I'm about to tell you kind of why. But basically, it was built in 2 weeks on top of an airplane landing strip inside the Big Cypress National Nature Preserve in Dade County that actually belongs to Dade County and the Miccosukee tribe. So, still stealing land from the natives.
Cool.
Um,
Cool, cool.
yeah, it was a idea cooked up by James Olthmeyer, who is Florida's attorney fucking general and Ron
That's
DeSantis'
another
little
fucking
fucking
villain
bottom
name.
bitch. Oh yeah, no. If you look at a picture of that motherfucker, he is the poster child of charges when it comes to fraternity hazing. Essentially, he's probably got a few hazing charges on his fucking record. He's
Ugh.
corn-fed looking motherfucker. Essentially, he looks
Ugh.
everything. He looks like your modern fucking far right Republican piece of dog shit that has no
Sweet.
fucking regard for whatever. He was also involved in a nice little scandal involving DeSantis's wife, where they allocated taxpayer funds, to her foundation and funneled that money into corporate PACs.
Was her foundation for high-heeled booties for Ron?
I forget what it was. It's called like the Hope Florida Foundation.
Yeah,
But
we hope Ron gets taller.
she essentially laundered money through her foundation to give to PACs in dark money and all that kind of fucking shit. So, I mean, just a whole cast of fucking just straight-laced characters when it comes to this fucking bullshit.
Really good people.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, it was erected in 2 weeks. It opened in July 3rd, 2025. Basically consists of tents, trailers, porta potties, dog runs, um, all that kind of shit. And it was initially it was meant to be temporary, but it didn't take long before all the reports started coming out of how really fucking shitty these, guards and
That's right.
companies were fucking to these detainees.
Weren't
Um,
there pictures of oh no, maybe I'm confusing that with another prison facility. I think that was the one down in Venezuela where they were sending the detainees for a
oh yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
I was thinking there was a picture of Christy Nome or one of them, the bird-legged hoe. She was walking through one of those prison facilities, and there was pictures of her, but I think it
I,
was down there. I don't think it
I
was,
think it was. Yeah, I think it was
yeah,
down
I don't
there.
think it was Alligator Alcatraz.
No, yeah, I think it was down there. I think, I mean, damn well, like DeSantis and all the fucking investors and all that kind of fucking shit. They showed up for I guess, the ribbon cutting ceremony of this piece of shit. But
Of course,
yeah,
naturally.
I mean, it took about 2 weeks. It ended up getting closed less than a year in June of this year, essentially. So a company called IRG Global Emergencies built the facility. Basically, took on the contract to build the facility. IRG Global Emergencies is a Texas company. Go fucking figure. That got the job a couple of weeks after they donated 10K to the Florida Republican Party.
What?
Coincidence?
What? Money was
What?
exchanged for further profits?
Yep. And I mean, the subsequent contracts that came with that little donation were, plentiful, especially with IRG and especially a company named what is it called? Gotham's LLC, who also helped with the construction of Alligator Alcatraz. Fun fact about Gotham's: they were offered the job to rebuild Gaza in Kushner's image after they, supposedly finished that war.
I
So,
hate this timeline.
yep. Yep. So yeah, one of the companies that built Alligator Alcatraz is also contracted to build Trump resorts in Gaza after they murder everybody all the way. Apparently, funny thing about good old Alligator Alcatraz, I was telling you what was like 15.6 million a month drain for Dilly.
Mhm.
Alligator Alcatraz cost the American taxpayer 1.2 million bucks a day
A
to run
day.
a day.
Wow.
One
So
of the
so
main
double
things.
basically the cost of Dilly.
Right. Now, even if you're a fucking dead inside piece of shit who only gives a shit about, say, your money versus like human life or whatever the fuck, you can't get behind it because it costs more to run this rundown piece of shit facility than it did a normal like detention center with AC infrastructure, fucking, contract, all that shit. It costs more to run Alligator Alcatraz than say it would cost to run Delaney Hall. That's how fucking stupid this is.
Yeah, that there's a while back, a long while back now. I remember getting into the discussion when I was a lot younger about like, the death penalty and I remember, I mean, early on,
Yeah.
I was against it just on the principle of state sponsored killings, right? Like
Capital
just on that
punishment, all that
principle
shit.
alone, I was
Yeah.
like, no, this is not good. But there's also the component of it's more expensive. That's another added thing. It's actually more expensive to give someone the death penalty
Right.
than it is to keep them imprisoned,
Yeah.
which should tell you everything because that means it's also more expensive to be a piece of shit and treat them like shit than it is to just have a functioning, stable, structured facility.
Yep. But I mean,
Co-
at that point, and that if there's, if that's not evidence that basically all capital punishment is essentially just one big fucking show to make a statement
Yep, that's
versus
all it is.
being a practical solution to, violent crime of any sort or because I mean, the majority of death row inmates, usually you're convicted of murder or, serial fucking
Right,
assault
really
or whatever.
serious shit.
Right. They're just the worst of the worst kind of fucking shit. But yeah, I mean, that's why they're fewer and further between anyway. Because I mean, fuck what there have been death row inmates that stayed on death row for 20, 30, 40 fucking years before their sentence
Oh
was
yeah.
carried out.
Oh yeah.
And that's if they ran out of appeals or couldn't get the governor to call, because I know damn well you ain't calling a Texas governor and them, offering you clemency. It's very
Yeah,
fucking rare that
not
that happens. And,
no, sir.
of course, we're a big capital punishment fucking state because, again, we got a lot of prisons. We make a lot of money
Yeah.
fucking doing it. But yeah, it's more for theater than anything else, as is the majority of this shit in terms of justifying all of these fucking abuses against mostly innocent fucking people. Because at this point, especially since Trump 2.0 started in with the mass deportations, it got up to 89, 90% of the people detained by ICE were not even violent
Oh,
criminals.
yeah. Yeah, nonviolent, yeah.
I mean, again,
It was
it's all
a
numbers.
very, very, very extremely small percentage of people, that were snatched up that were actually, like, even had a criminal history, let alone violent criminal history.
Yep. Yep. And now, I mean, especially since one of the few executive orders that have still held water in terms of, not getting blocked by federal judges or whatever the fuck, include up to being able to racially profile people in order to justify a traffic stop, let alone detaining this person and then keeping them for a prolonged period of time.
Right.
But I mean, that's all it is at this point. It's all fucking theater to justify the bullshit. Let's see, where was I? But yeah, the majority of these aren't violent criminals, and to the shock of absolutely fucking nobody, detainees are reportedly beaten and pepper sprayed, toilets overflowing, flooding, rotten food, hunger strikes, and something called the box. This is a super fun one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is some fucking old prison movie shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you've seen any movie from the '90s or earlier that involved a prison, then you know what the box is.
Well, I mean, it's
You have an
similar.
idea anyway.
Yeah, it's very similar to what you're probably picturing. But let me tell you what it is. Essentially, it's a small fucking cage, so it's open. At least it's not a straight up just like wooden
Just a
box that they stuff
boiled
somebody in.
pot? Yeah.
Right. But it's put out in the middle of the fucking swamp because keep in mind, Alligator Alcatraz is in the middle of the fucking Everglades.
Oh, that's right, we're in the middle, we're in Alligator Alcatraz still, that's right.
Right. They put it in the middle of the swamp, and essentially it's so damn small that it can't house a one human adult comfortably, so they have to be in these fucking uncomfortable positions for a prolonged period of time, contorting, all that kind of fucking shit. They're shackled to the box, so they can't really move even more. And then, of course, they don't get food or water, and they're exposed to all sorts of fucking swamp creatures since it's in the middle of the goddamn swamp. So,
Right.
I mean, especially with
To
the
say nothing
Everglades,
of the mosquitoes.
right? Well, that's the next thing. The most common cause of death in the Everglades is fucking mosquitoes. I mean, you can probably argue the massive influx of pythons out there because people just started letting their snakes go and they just bred until they fucking filled the entire area. But yeah, essentially you're exposed to snakes, gators, mosquitoes.
Like,
Either way, something's eating you while you're sitting out there for a prolonged
what are we
period
doing
of
here,
time.
folks? What are we doing?
Yeah, you're just sitting in mud and all that kind of shit. That was one of the main, and of course, this is all alleged, and the DeSantis administration denies all of this.
Oh, naturally, naturally.
Right. Not like their rhetoric can give you any fucking clues that this is not bullshit by any stretch of the imagination.
You know
But
why his
yeah,
boots are so high, right?
what's that?
You know why DeSantis's boots are so high?
Why?
That's where he hides all his secrets.
That's where he hides all his secrets.
That's where he keeps all his secrets.
But yeah, with the addition to the box and shit like that, if you complain about any of this, what do you get? What do you think you get?
Time in the box?
Well, yeah, you could do that. But what they tend to like to do to people that are, getting some information out there of these abuses, they like to throw a pepper bomb in the middle of an unventilated cage and just let you fucking sit in it.
Hell yeah. Okay.
No
So
ventilation, no nothing. You're just sitting there with fucking pepper bomb, face burning, can't breathe. And you can't fucking tell me that at least one person hasn't died from that kind of fucking treatment. I don't know if I've heard of anything official where somebody died involving one of those punishments, but I wouldn't be fucking shocked if there's not multiple by this point. Especially
they
at the
just throw
accelerated
a
rate.
pepper bomb in the middle of a crowded area.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they got no problem doing it, outside, inside. They don't give a fuck. And then, yeah, of course, yeah, if you snitch and you're not a detainee, then the local law enforcement is just going to stalk you and make your life a living hell. Now, the guards of Alligator
These are the folks
Alcatraz,
being trained by IDF, are they not?
I think that depends
Or is that
on.
ICE? I think that's ICE.
Yeah, I think that's the running thing right now is they are shit. I mean, it's very shitty work, but they're trained by the IDF, or at least former IDF soldiers and shit like that. But I mean, the guard, like, so for example, because I was telling you about the shitty training on a lot of these guards in particular were their own different kind of fucking breed. Of course, they were employed by a private firm. Um, they basically did a shitty job at training their guards, a shitty job at retaining their guards due to, again, being dismissed for being too goddamn rough or excessive force, or seasoned vets quitting because they don't get fucking paid enough. Not to mention, a good amount of them lived on site of Alligator Alcatraz, and they saw conditions not unlike the detainees. They were all housed in basically one trailer. The power that they got to power the entire facility was done by generators plugged into other generators. So very, very rare for anybody to get AC, light, any of that fucking shit. And
If
of
I'm
course,
being
no.
honest, though, I love that for them.
Yeah, right. Well, for them at least, they fucking, they deserve worse. But and no private phone lines, like I said earlier too. So they can't call their family members to tell them where they're at, and especially that's if they weren't given the privilege by the particular ICE agent that arrested their family member of telling them where
Right.
they're gone, because a lot of the time they don't. But yeah, you can't get in touch with your family. You can't get in touch with a lawyer. Any of that shit. I mean, all that said, I mean, bottom line, I just wanted to highlight that these fucking abuses exist, and they've existed throughout multiple fucking administrations. All right. Um, at this point, it's not a right left fucking thing. This shit has been going on since essentially, immigration detention became the fucking hot new startup.
Yeah.
But like, bottom line, innocent people are suffering and dying, and the detestable monsters who let that shit happen while benefiting it from it, whether it's politically, monetarily, or if you're like fucking, good old Donny
Fucking
boy who.
any way. Honestly,
Right,
that's insane.
right. I mean, you can even throw in Obama for that matter. I mean, a lot of the criticism that he did get for that presidency was his
The
immigration.
deporter in chief stuff.
Yeah, immigration policy. I mean, essentially, he got. It was so funny because these fucking maggots all the time
But
is like, no.
they still reference him.
Yeah, well, no, they're just like, nobody fucking protested Obama being deporter in chief, and he, deported more than anybody fucking else. Well, there's two fucking reasons. One, several fucking people protested that shit enough to the point where it applied enough pressure for him to get the DACA program off the fucking ground.
Right. Right.
Um.
Not
So
a
yeah,
small
no,
deal.
plenty of people fucking bitched enough about that to get some kind of change fucking implemented. And you can
And
say,
this is the stuff, like, whenever we talk about, like, immigrants, the immigration policy, like, any of these policies surrounding immigrants, this is the part of the immigration, this is the stuff that needs to be fixed, right? When people say, "Well, the immigration process does need to be fixed." This is the shit that needs to be fixed.
yeah.
Like, just the humane treatment of people is what needs to be fixed.
Well, I mean, and people who actually know what they're fucking doing more than anything. Because I mean, especially with this fucking administration cutting so many goddamn federal jobs, including in this fucking sector. I mean, they gave them a shit ton more money, but they cut the goddamn departments down quite a damn
Yeah,
bit.
the money wasn't for the people working. That wasn't for
No,
that.
it's for the fucking agents, getting all the military gear they possibly fucking can and surveillance gear they could possibly get their
Yep.
fucking grubby little hands on, and apparently now
Cool.
shot gloves. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're paying for them to fucking shock us with a pair of fucking gloves now.
Yep. A pair of gloves, and they can basically run a taser through it, which
Right.
is
Don't get me wrong, and I've said it over and over and over. The pathway to citizenship and all that kind of shit has always been massively flawed. I don't have a fucking solution for it, but I mean, I would expect at least some kind of update, that kind of scales with, population booms
yeah.
or conflicts that arise, anytime at any point in fucking time where a refugee crisis is, taking place and shit like
I
that.
mean, at this point, I'd settle for one of those conditions also being just like, how about American school children also being made to learn the same things that are on that test? That test
No.
is not fucking easy. I helped my stepmother study for it. I've helped. It is not a fucking easy test at all.
Yeah.
And most Americans that I know can't pass that test.
Oh yeah, no, that's always been the long running thing is like most, most born citizens to the US couldn't even
Yep.
fucking pass the test that it
On their
takes to
on their
get
fucking best
citizenship.
day. On their
Uh,
very
uh,
best day.
my fucking question though is why would you have to learn that much US fucking history to become a fucking citizen? I get like the greatest hits, but like they fucking make you do like a whole goddamn dissertation at this point, do they not?
Well, it's not uncommon for like citizenship tests in other countries, for example. Like there are different types of tests,
Yeah.
but it's not uncommon for the tests themselves to include questions about just how the country works, how it runs, who, all and that's really what the core of the questions are, is like, how is the government structured? Again, things that most people don't just know. Like
Right.
most people have to Google the answers to these questions. And there are some easy ones, like, how many senators does each state get?
Mhm.
There's some basic ones that even at least anyone our age would know from school, right? I
Right.
don't know if they teach that shit anymore,
Oh,
but
probably fucking not, dude.
exactly.
The
And
other
now
day.
you have a whole generation of kids that
Right.
even some of the high school level reading that we had is now considered college level reading. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like there's a whole generation of kids growing up that don't know how anything works. And that's, I mean, if you look at the cycle of even just the things that we've been talking about on the show so far, aside from the music episode,
Right.
um, but like all of the serious topics that we've been on so far, like it all comes back to the rich getting richer, the poor staying poor, up versus down, white versus black, white versus brown, and
Yeah.
every iteration of that's what it boils down to. But at the core of it is just the people in control maintaining control. In order to do that, you need people to be stupid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
working.
Because if you fucking, if you got intelligent people, they're gonna fucking call you out on your bullshit, especially if they're more versed in it than you are. Because the majority of these motherfuckers in these positions of power now have no
Yeah.
fucking idea what they're doing. Like I said, outside of what JD and fucking Lil
I mean,
Marco,
truthfully,
his whole
I
cabinet has zero political, like real political office experience.
none. None at all. There's a guy with a brain worm in the charge of the
Oh,
HHS. There's a fucking a wrestling executive in charge of education. I mean,
fuck.
what the motherfuck are we doing?
It's so fucking funny too, dude, because the other day I decided to go on like a little nostalgia trip and I was watching like old WWE Attitude Era fucking videos. And sure enough, there was Linda McMahon. I'm like, this bitch ruined our education. In about 30 years, this bitch is going to ruin our education. Fucking
I
great.
hope I hope the phrase A1 follows her for the rest of her life.
Oh, yeah, it will. I don't think it's going to be very much longer. I mean, fuck, her and Vince are old as shit. At least they're in their
Oof,
70s, I would think. Granted, the majority of the
I don't
people in
know.
these positions of power are fucking
Vince
old
Vince looks like a
dirt.
fucking swollen skin
Man,
tag. It's gross.
fuck that bag of dicks. God, what a piece of shit that guy continues to be.
Was, is, continues to
What
be,
is forever
no
will
longer
be.
be.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of these fucking pricks, benefiting off of human suffering politically, monetarily, or if you're fucking Donald Trump, nothing soothes the soul like the anguish screams of a toddler.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean,
See
either
how
way,
fast he ran after that kid though?
what's that, dude?
Like he done that once or twice. I'm just saying.
Yes, the
I'm
way
just
you
saying.
threw yourself.
Allegedly. This is why we say allegedly.
Yeah, this is exactly why we say allegedly, because these litigious little bitches can't fucking, handle it, basically. I mean, either way, none of these motherfuckers live on the borrowed time that they're on right now, because I consider all these motherfuckers living on borrowed time at this point until we can, properly hold these pieces of shit accountable. Whether
Ugh.
that'll happen soon, later down the road, I don't fucking know. But I mean, I think it's like we said in previous episodes, I think it's going to take millennials in like actual positions of power to actually put these motherfuckers where they need to be,
The
basically.
sad part is, unfortunately, by that time, many of them will have expired.
Probably be dead. Yeah, exactly. And that's the part that fucking boils my goddamn blood is I know damn well a shit ton of them are going to get away with it. They're getting away with it right now. They're going to get away with it. I mean, you're getting away with harming innocent children who, last I fucking checked, weren't the worst of the worst you kept fucking touting on the campaign trail. Pretty fucking far from it, last I fucking checked. But at this point, it's par for the fucking course. If this lady,
it's always that's the like the line every time.
right?
It's the worst of the worst. These people are criminals. These people, but like, what was the one that was like the one incident that was like really Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Yeah. Yep.
This fucking ass clown
Fucking guy
had a fucking guy had a had a picture of Knuckles and then Times New Roman fonted over them. Do you remember this? He had a
Oh, yeah,
picture of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Kilmar
I do remember that, yep.
Garcia's Knuckles.
You said Knuckles, and I
Times New
immediately
Roman
thought of the Sonic character.
MS-13 over them, and he was
Yep.
like, "Look, he's got it tattooed right there."
No, as a graphic designer, I feel like I have to correct you. That was Arial, not Times New Roman.
Was it Arial?
Yeah, it
Damn.
was.
I'm slipping on my fonts. I'm slipping on my fonts.
I remember seeing that shit. I was like, "Motherfucker, like, nobody tattoos an Arial."
It was right? It was so, like, I remember seeing the video clip, and I was like, "There's no way anybody believes that's an actual tattoo."
Dude,
Boy, did I underestimate these people.
I've been fucking shocked, like,
Boy,
that
did I
just speaks
underestimate
to,
these
like,
people.
the amount of either willful ignorance or just blatant fucking stupidity will never not puzzle me when it comes
Do
to
you
that
know
shit.
almost 100,000 people or more voted for Mike Lindell as governor? The My Pillow
100,000?
guy? Almost 100,000 people. This man threw away, burned his entire livelihood to the ground
Yep.
over a lie.
Yep.
And because he had to give up his business to run for governor.
Yep.
And what I learned from that is that there are at least 100,000 other people who would burn down everything they own on some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Which is actually fucking terrifying to think about. I mean, granted, what? We hear it all
That's
the damn
crazy, bro.
time. There's almost 80 million of us that voted for that man, and we don't regret it.
I bet you they didn't even let him keep a pillow.
Oh, probably fucking not. No. They probably
He lost
ousted his ass for real
everything.
fucking with. The board's like,
Everything.
"Hey, Mike, we're gonna have to fucking talk, buddy." Granted, I did stitch him recently when he was like, "Oh, I'm out for my bid for governor of Minnesota," and I'm like, "Mike, there's enough goddamn snow in Minnesota. I don't think they need you bringing more of it in the fucking capital," because he's also known for hoovering that
Oh
voter
yeah.
sugar
I mean,
on a frequent basis.
listen, I seen a clenched jar or two in my day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty clear.
As soon as you say that, I relax my jaw. I'm like, I'm not tweaking, dude. I promise.
I haven't been skiing in months.
No Colombian marching powder for me, guys. I promise.
Jesus.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, I mean,
Fucking Mike Lindell.
dude, fuck that guy. It's so fucking funny too because like it makes you wonder how they get there. I mean, other than just being super susceptible to suggestion and propaganda and all that kind of shit, and of course maybe lack of intelligence. But it's like, what fucking caused you to? Because I mean,
It's got to be just like a cocktail of fuck shit.
I mean, yeah, fucking MAGA is what, a little over 10 years old at this point. Not that fucking long.
Probably closer to 15 at this point.
Not that fucking but the amount of just quickness it went from what a normal Republican was considered to be.
Oh man, those don't even exist anymore.
In 2014 versus fucking MAGA now. Just the quick succession and how fucking off the goddamn rails it continues
immediately
to get is
immediately
fucking baffling to me.
They got this all started, if memory serves, and I'm using a little bit of personal experience from this, but this whole thing started obviously in the Obama administration,
right?
When he was all these same people accuse Obama of being the most divisive president in history because he wore that tan suit one time. It really fucking tweaked their titties, and it really fucking burned them up. They hated that shit. That tan suit. God damn, the disrespect on the presidency.
They don't like any shade of brown, dude.
And right, 2 shades of brown in the White House? Absolutely not.
Unless there's a red armband attached to it, they don't like brown.
Right. But then, I mean, yeah. So it all started then, and then it fast forward into all the Q nonsense, right?
Yep.
Now, the interesting thing about that's how all this shit happens, right? Is with conspiracy theories and shit like that. Like, you don't to sell a conspiracy theory, you don't have to be entirely truthful. You just sprinkle little baby bits in there and you
Well,
fill in the
yeah, no,
gaps, right?
every
So
lie
like
comes from a nugget of truth for sure.
a lot of the shit that they believed in wasn't entirely wrong,
No.
but also it very was at the same time.
Oh, so yeah, that was especially with, with everything that came to light with the release of the unredacted files we did see and shit like that.
Right. Right.
It was it's so fucking funny because, like, yeah, they weren't completely off. Not all the way off.
No, not completely,
I mean,
but enough.
Pizzagate was a big fucking deal, but it that's how it also leads me to believe how it's all just fucking bullshit anyway, because they
Well,
straight up went from Pizzagate to, "Is 15 really a child?" "Yeah,
well, that's I
sure
mean,
fucking
that's how
is."
all this shit happens, right? Like that's how all this shit happens, even right down to what we're talking about today and people being accepting of it, right?
Right.
It happens because it starts with things like conspiracy theories,
Yep.
because you don't have to be right about every single thing. You just have to be right about enough in their eyes, right? In the recipient's eyes.
Yeah.
And it came down to, well, Donald Trump is going to do X, Y, and Z. And that was the sprinkling, was every time another Q drop or whatever the fuck they called it
Mhm.
happened, it was oh, Donald Trump's going to do X, Y, and Z. And even if he didn't do X and Z, but he did Y, they'd be like, huh,
Oh,
see,
it's
I
a sign. Yep,
told
it's a
you,
sign. Well, I
right?
mean, confirmation bias,
All
all
it
that
took
fucking
was
bullshit.
to get you get the hooks in with that, and then you can feed them any fucking line of bullshit that you want, because you're conditioning them to believe in this person as the source of truth.
Right.
By the time, especially this term, right? It already happened in his first term, but
Yeah.
especially by his second term, they're all like, all of these people, there's not a whole lot of them jumping ship. Like there's a few
Yeah.
that maybe have had one thing or another, but like even folks like that never woke dude, that the dancing fuckstick at Disney,
Mhm. Mhm.
had going through his personal crisis. Like I'm glad that you're having this moment of reflection and realizing all of the harm that you've caused, but what are you going to do now? What do
Right.
you do now? Because
That
that's the important bit. The fact that
that's
you're
always been
realizing
my
it doesn't mean
stance.
fuck all.
Yeah, that's always been my fucking stance, especially with these, the ones especially making a big show, especially the whole leaving MAGA little
Yeah.
uptick that we're experiencing right now and whatnot. It's like, okay, dude, I'm not going to be nice to you. I'm not going to fucking, hold your goddamn hand and coddle you and say, it wasn't your fault. No, it very much fucking was your goddamn fault. But if you ever want a shot at having any credibility whatsoever, you had very little to begin with, but I mean, any shot at any credibility, or if you want to at least start mending shit with the other side and shit, like, yeah, get off your fucking ass.
Do something.
Get
Do
off your ass
something.
and do something to help us get the fuck out of this. Do the
Yeah.
goddamn
I
work.
mean, he's even had videos talking about how he recognizes the harm that ICE specifically and these like he's had videos talking about this thing, and he has these and it's not, I'm sure it's not just him. I'm using him as an example, obviously, but like
Well, he's one of the more
if
prominent examples.
yeah. And if you're having this moment of clarity and you're realizing all this harm is being done or has been done,
Yep.
it is your responsibility above all else to do something about it.
Yeah. Oh
Do
yeah.
something about
Yeah. Well, and with this shit too, because I mean, it's not just money, it's not just political points. I mean, it kind of is political points in terms of, say, for example, good old Donny Boy in his first term wasn't really known for getting any of the shit that he promised he was going to get done. The same shit is happening now,
it.
but
Of
you add
course.
the extra caveat of him being demented, paranoid, and fucking obsessed with the election. That's
Oh my
another big
god.
thing. They need
Oh
they
my
need the
god, he
boogeyman.
won't stop with it.
Yeah, they need a new fucking boogeyman. It's so fucking funny too, which going back to the being that susceptible to whatever fucking bullshit he's feeding them. It's like, okay, all he had to fucking tell you is that they cheated and you went and tried to overthrow the government. Meanwhile, in his second term, he's threatening to post armed agents at polling places, immigration agents, mind you,
Right, like that it's
at
fucking
polling
so stupid.
places. One of his closest allies and buddies owns the company that supplies the majority of our voting machines. Of all the people that he scooped up from fucking Venezuela in that little 12-day fucking insurgency, he scooped Maduro. He scooped the one fucking asshole who was successful into rigging his own fucking election. None of these alarm bells are going off for these motherfuckers. All he's
No, of
got to
course
go
not.
is, they cheated. I know it.
Yep.
I don't have any fucking evidence, but I know it. And even the
Well, he's
evidence
still
did showed up to be like actually in his favor during his fucking campaigns, like that little
yeah.
fucking stupid ass speech that everybody got pissy with that not every network carried because
Well,
it
and
was all
he's I
fucking
mean,
bullshit.
this is the same guy that I mean, every they hang on every fucking word he says, right?
Right.
Like that's what I mean. All they're conditioned at this point to believe every single fucking thing that comes out of his mouth, regardless of how ridiculous it may seem or how just patently like open your fucking eyes.
Right.
Open your eyes and you can see that this is bullshit. That none of them have any interest in that. And I think that's the thing for me that kind of cemented it in the disconnect from, in personal life from a lot of folks is like, if you're still on board with this shit, right? Like even the ones that are just coming now, like, oh my God, there's so much harm being, what was it for you? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's still my first question. What was the thing for you?
Yeah.
Because
What
9 times out of 10, well, it affected me personally.
right. That's usually what it is.
Did
Or
you
at
see
least
there was a video of some dude, some old fuck, all like pissed off because he was like, yeah, I voted for Trump. I didn't expect this because they snatched up his fiance.
yeah, that's right. The older guy.
I'm sorry, the leopards ate your face.
Could
What the
those be
fuck?
the consequences of your fucking actions? Like it
It's
makes no
it's
fucking sense.
insane, man.
But yeah, it has to personally affect them at this point. I mean, not to mention too, it either has to personally affect them or they got to let go of their goddamn pride and admit that they're fucking wrong. And that is one thing that a lot of these fucking idiots can never admit. Like physically impossible for them to even admit they were somewhat wrong. And so they'll
No,
die
no,
on that
not
fucking
a chance.
hill to preserve whatever false sense of fucking dignity they think they have.
Yep,
Meanwhile, they're all about stripping people of color and, undocumented migrants that were fleeing most likely a country that we, made unsustainable through whatever proxies or, direct action that we've taken.
exactly.
And, it's their fault. It's all their fucking fault.
It's always. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, dude, I saw a picture. I think it was on Reddit earlier today. There was a picture of Donald Trump, and then beneath it, a picture of Mustache Man from Germany,
Yeah.
and obviously in color, black and white. And the top one was Donald Trump obsessed, and it says Donald Trump obsessing over personal pet projects when he knows the war has been lost. And then
Right.
beneath it was a very similar picture of the Mustache Man with the same exact fucking title when he knew the war had been lost and he was obsessing over monuments and shit.
Yep. Towards the end. Well, because those were the things that he feels like he can actually control at that
Right.
point.
Why do we have fucking gold statues? What?
I don't fucking know. Even
What?
the fucking Greeks didn't really paint all their statues gold and shit. They
It's
actually
just,
fucking it's
and something tells me he hired the same dude to paint the statues gold as he hired to paint the fucking reflecting pool blue.
yep. Yep. Which I actually
And
believe he also had a hand in building Alligator Alcatraz as well.
sweet.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yep.
That tracks.
Yep. It very like it's so funny because that dude, that specific contractor that they fucking, they've shown a few pictures of him and he basically looks like a mobster version of fucking John
Oh
Wayne
my
Gacy.
God. Talk about a cartoon villain.
Yeah. He looks
He
like
looks like
John
a
Wayne
character
Gacy
out
if
of
he was
fucking Rocky
fucking
and Bullwinkle.
yeah. It's so fucking yeah, he does look fucking Boris. Boris and
Yeah.
Natasha?
Yeah.
You fucking Boris from Rocky and
And
Bullwinkle.
it's like his Mar-a-Lago neighbor gave the contract to him, a no bid contract, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Like it's every single fucking thing this dude does stinks of corruption and nothing from these
While
fucktards.
while propping up an economic system that's supposed to thrive on competition.
Yep.
Unless they're a homie of somebody in
Yeah, yeah.
power.
Thrive on, what is it? The meritocracy.
Right.
Meritocracy. Obviously.
Right. The fucking meritocracy pisses me off.
Why else would RFK be in charge of HHS? Mr. Brainworm himself.
I think that for some reason is one of the more infuriating things is they put this fucking moron in charge of public health. And now it's enabling fucking anti-vaxxers. Now it's like if my kid ends up part of a fucking another outbreak due to some fucking bullshit propaganda telling people not to take a fucking vaccine, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Did you see this man on the news? I forget who was interviewing him, but he was talking about like vaccines and this and that and the other. And he goes, well, you don't understand or however he talks. I can't do
Right.
his voice, but he was like, he was like, well, you don't understand this because you're not a scientist.
Neither
And the
are
woman
you.
interviewing him was like, well, you're not a scientist.
You're a fucking Nepo bitch who's the last like decent person in your line was your dad.
That was her like just right out of pocket response, was like, well, you're not a scientist. Like, who the fuck are you? Amazing.
No experience whatsoever in public health or any form of it. Like not even a
No.
fucking medical coder that you learn at DeVry University. Does have no
Oh,
fucking
right,
experience in
yeah.
that shit. Like it just fucking just boils
Remember those
my fucking
commercials?
blood how
Jesus.
these people are allowed to do this shit. And you know, it gets just justified every fucking time. If you got the money, you know, there's no limit. There's no limit to the horrid shit you can do to people, and there's no limit to the amount of care you can take into covering it up
Oh, yeah.
as long as you got no limit on that credit card. They do
Oh,
not give
that's the
a fuck.
key part of it. As long as you got no limit on the money that you're willing to send us, we'll
Yep.
let you get away with whatever the fuck you want.
Yep. Basically, no conscience, no credit limit, no problem. You fucking
All the whole administration, because at this point, like you can't even just say Trump, right? Stephen Miller's basically running the country, which is a whole other mind fuck in and of itself.
a big driving force behind all this fucking Nazi shit.
Do you know that motherfucker's 40 years old?
Yep.
40.
Yep.
And he looks like a mole worm.
Well, I mean, that degree of fucking hatred and stupidity will age a motherfucker.
Ugh. I am appalled that his wife let him do that to her.
I mean,
I'm appalled on her behalf. Imagine thinking that's the supreme. That's all right.
That's your Greek god right there. You're fucking
do you, boo boo. That's fine.
fucking walking foreskin. I swear to Christ, a fucking idiot.
That's so gross. It's so
But I
gross.
mean, it's just, especially with everything coming out recently, just the abuse, the neglect, the assault, up to the death of kids is more accepted than I have any fucking comfort in explaining. And I was actually genuinely fucking shocked at that fact.
I believe that.
Is how many fucking people are willing to dismiss the pain and suffering of kids, back to Gaza, back to all of this shit, just to basically conceal your fuck ups and whatnot too. Because I mean, it's not just money; it's the election. It's all that. I mean, he's rigging the game as fucking hard and fast as he fucking can, so he can make this completely not legitimate whatsoever. Which I think either way he kind of wins. One, he rigs it and it ends up in his red wave favor, or B, well, you can't fucking argue that there isn't rampant fraud in our election system now.
God, I hope man. There has been quite a bit of hope beaten out of me over the last year and change, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I got left.
Yeah.
That's all I got left is the hope that there was a time in this country not long ago where, like, you know, even as bad as things may have been for any specific group of people, right? There was a time in the country not long ago when people didn't want to see it out in the open, right?
No.
Then don't put it in my face. I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors. Don't put it in front of my face.
Yep.
And now all of this stuff is very, very, very in your face. Like we were saying before, if you have a fucking pulse,
yep,
you can't miss any of these things.
Well, and some degree of tech knowledge, at least to the point where you're not fucking, you know, completely useless at it. Yeah.
That's it's insane to me that we're here, but like I said, I feel like all we have left is hope that enough people have recognized the importance of actually doing something about it. Voting is important. If for no other reason than harm reduction, right? Like the lesser of two evils argument is something that is intended to dissuade you, to make you feel that voting isn't important because I'm just picking who's less shitty.
That's all anybody campaigns on anymore, though.
Exactly. And that's
the Dems aren't going to learn their lesson either.
And that's the whole reason that's a talking point, right? Because like the less people participate, the more likely they are to get a foothold, a foot in the door. These policies, these ideas, all of this is being in the mainstream is a relatively new phenomenon, and it's mostly because of our parents' generation allowing it to start getting its foot in the door and becoming more and more and more in the public sphere. And now more than ever, like there's a quote, I think it was from FDR, if I'm not mistaken, but he said something to the effect of, from to some generations much is given, to other generations much is asked, and this generation has a date with destiny. um Obviously FDR was not talking to us,
No.
but I very much think it applies, right? Like this is a pivotal moment in history where enough of us need to be vocal and take this shit more seriously, be more vocal about it in your personal lives, talk about this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's an important thing to do, whether it's just regular human values. We're talking about what's happening in Gaza, what's happening with trans folks, what's happening with just the LGBTQ plus community in general, the immigrants, all of this shit. Talk about it openly with friends and family. Like there's a reason that these things were labeled as taboo. You don't talk about these things with friends and family, and that's specifically because you're the less you do that, the more these things are allowed to live. People need to be told in no uncertain terms that it's not okay, that it should never be acceptable, certainly not in this country, if anywhere.
Right.
And yes, Carl, I just saw your comment pop in. The Fourth Turning is actually a book. I have it somewhere here, but I started reading it on the flight down to Vegas. It's actually a really fucking good book.
What's that one?
It basically talks about how everything throughout history happens in cycles. And even if it's not exact, it's
History
close,
often
right?
rhymes.
Like we
Yeah.
go through these kinds of ebbs and flows of history, and we are right now in the fourth turning, which is the end of a cycle. There are four turnings in each cycle.
Mhm.
And at the end of the fourth turning is when there's meant to be, that's every time we've had a societal or economic boom, it's been at the end of a fourth turning.
Mhm.
Um, the problem is, or the thing to keep in mind there, is that at the end of the fourth turning, it requires a
Collapse.
pretty serious public upheaval. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it needs to be in no fucking uncertain terms. Um, that's the only way this, and it's still, even if it is in no uncertain terms, it's still going to take us fucking decades to fix the damage that's been done.
In such a short fucking amount of time. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively to, this country's fucking existence anyway. It's gonna take
How
fucking
could you
forever.
even need any more proof that of the importance of government and the importance of the structure that we have and the importance of voting and participating in it than the fact that it's been destroyed in a year and a half and things are fucking falling apart, people are dying, like this shit is fucking real.
Yeah. I mean, it's been fucking kind of falling apart consistently over the last, few decades, especially since fucking Reagan. I mean, you can
Mhm.
attribute so much shit to that goddamn administration, and and just like you said, it's going to take us fucking years to fix this, clusterfuck. We're still trying to fix Reagan's bullshit.
Trickle down
Congratulations.
economics.
Fucking legacy
Trickle
will
down economics.
never not be intact on that motherfucker.
That's crazy.
But I mean, that's how it is. It's like history often rhymes. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, and you know this from whatever, and we see it more and more every fucking episode we research, every topic we research is we end up going, and of course, this shit happens, this shit happens, this shit happens because it's happened before.
Right.
The Tennessee prison crisis was due to shitty conditions, overcrowding, whatever, and it just turned right back into fucking that. It basically, I guess that makes sense with the cycles. Um, I mean, you can even go so far as saying fucking Jews experienced the Holocaust, and now Israel is doing pretty much the exact same fucking thing, coming around fucking full circle.
Israel's doing a Holocaust.
Yeah. Which, going back to, what the kids are being taught in school now, I got a big fucking eye opener the other day when we went over to my kid's cousin's house, and he's like 13, 14, something like that. So he's in high school. And I mentioned something about the Holocaust, and
Yeah.
he was like, "What the fuck is the Holocaust?"
Come on.
I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, what do they
that's
teach you in
heartbreaking.
history? I mean, granted, they'll go so far as to teach like maybe the Vietnam War, fucking Desert Storm, 9/11, all that kind of shit now, because yeah, that was what, over 20 fucking years ago at this point. But yeah, that like some schools aren't even teaching the fucking Holocaust at this point, which always goes back to that old fucking saying, which those who are ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it, or at
Yep.
least make it fucking rhyme, which is the exact same thing we see every time we research a topic, whether it's for our own content or for this very fucking show.
Yeah. And
And
it's always like you said, the does that sound familiar? Does it, like it's like you said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme, right?
yep,
And there's a million different ways to say it, whether it's talking about the cycles, or the turnings, etc.
yep,
Another way I've heard it said is like the pendulum, right? The
yeah,
pendulum effect, where it swings to the right in a really strong way, like we're seeing right now, but that also means it's going to swing back to the left just as hard. We
right,
hope, but
right,
that only happens if y'all fucking pay attention, man. Get involved, do shit, pay attention, especially to local politics.
yep. That's where it all starts, at least in terms of substantive change. Is dealing with your local elections and local government
Yeah.
and local issues and all that kind of fucking shit. But I mean, even if you don't want to go, start there, like especially with what's happening now and the patterns that we keep fucking seeing. Yeah, this is, I think now more than ever, speaking up about this shit and at least making it known and try to at least get that information out to more
Hmm.
fucking people. Um, is more important than ever because it's just going to get fucking worse. And because
Yeah.
now, especially since they've thrown everything at the fucking wall, flood, good old Steve Bannon's flood the zone method, it's gotten to the point where a lot of this shit has been normalized. I remember fucking 2012, if we saw some of this shit happening on the news, we would be fucking like, it would shut down the whole fucking country. Now it's just gotten to the point where it's like, well, how much we can fucking
I
do
mean,
about it now?
I made a joke about it before, but Obama's tan suit,
It's fucking, yeah.
that was national headlines.
That's what I never,
That was like wall to wall coverage, right? Fox News was
oh.
going absolutely batshit. And
So
now they have a host that jokes about sexual assault.
some fucking some of these times I miss, like in some weird twisted fucking way at this point, where a tan suit was what fucking drove national. I mean, we kind of had it somewhat close when fucking Zelensky didn't show up in a suit, but at the same time,
Oh man. Yeah, that was true. I mean, a little less though, because they were like, oh, he's at war. Like they didn't really focus on it as much, although
Trump and
they were
fucking
pretty
JD
pissed off.
did when they told him he is dressed like shit and he's not grateful enough.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Fucking
I forgot them two. I mean, more like the talking heads on the
oh yeah,
news.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In terms of
They
the
they talked
general
about it, but it
people.
was like a blip on the radar.
Well, yeah,
Obama's tan
because
suit was like a week of like, can
dude,
you believe how many shades of brown we have in the White House right now?
right? You fucking deploying ICE
Their fuzzy little
everywhere.
heads exploded.
Fucking Black Hawk helicopter rappelled down to fucking arrest a bunch of kids in Chicago.
Yep.
And then from the martyring of good old Chucky Boy on, it's just been a endless flood of just horse
Yeah.
shit that it's
Now the
very
Blackhawks
difficult.
fly to Kid Rock's house, so there's that.
Oh my god, fucking
Is that not a is that are we not winning? Is that not winning? I thought it was.
we and I will not stress. I will continue to advocate for the reinstatement of public beatings when it comes to certain people. Like some motherfuckers weren't didn't get their ass kicked enough, and it shows.
Kid Rock should have been that should have been a policy a long time ago. Remember his video when he was like all shirtless? You fuck with Trump, you fuck with me.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Go sit
I
down.
I responded to that one.
Sit down.
I believe I called him American sad ass. It's like, oh, what the fuck are you gonna do, American sad ass? You ain't no goddamn
Oh man.
cowboy.
And then there was the for some reason shirtless but also in pants videos of him and RFK in a sauna working out, and I use
I
that
I
phrase
tried my best to
very
block
loosely.
out. Very recently, I've learned how effective my brain is to black things out that have happened to me or things that I've seen. For some reason, this ain't fucking one of them, and I hate it every day. The fact
Some
that I
things you
cannot
can't
get that
unsee,
shit out
bro.
of my fucking, you can't. It's fucking burned
Some things you
into my
can't unsee.
fucking eyes at this point. yeah, no, that was
Just like I don't know why, but in my head, in that video, Kid Rock is on the like workout bicycle and he's
yeah.
huffing a cigarette at the same time. I don't know why. I don't think he is in the actual video,
I
but in my
wouldn't fucking
brain,
doubt it.
he's huffing a cigarette and he's got a beer in his hand.
Oh, 100 fucking percent. Yeah, in between takes, he's fucking
100%. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, no.
absolutely. As soon as he hopped off that bike, he was like, "Somebody give me a Newport."
Like, why the fuck? First off, that's another thing. When it comes to the marketing of these fucking idiots in terms of trying to get everybody on board with their policies and whatnot, they sure pick the worst fucking possible shit. Like from the TPUSA fucking halftime show
Oh
to
my god.
having Kid Rock be somewhat of a spokesperson for your job, the shitty job you're doing for public health.
Kid Rock should be a spokesperson for literally nothing, for no one. Maybe child support. But like that's about it. There is no fucking there is no
Fuck
fucking
that.
way.
I will make him the poster child for the case for abortion. That's what I'll fucking do.
There you go. That's another good one. I like and these are the people that they choose. These are like these are going to be our ambassadors to the public. Fucking Kid Rock. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, their pool was pretty shallow as I understand it. But like you couldn't find anybody.
Slim pickings in terms of
You couldn't find anybody more likable than fucking Ball with the Ball.
I mean,
Come on, man.
I mean, going back to even fucking BB, where you alienate the majority of somewhat the normies, you got to end up fucking, ingratiating yourself with the fucking
Ugh.
the goblins of the society,
Ugh.
which is exactly what these motherfuckers
True. Yeah.
continue to show us of being just fucking straight up greedy ass fucking goblins at the
Remember, I
expense
heard
of human death and suffering.
Nicki Minaj, who is not an American citizen, is also MAGA.
Yep, I'm familiar.
That's just hilarious to me.
It's
That's the thing. I think the stuff that gets me more than anything else is if I see a Latino or a Hispanic MAGA,
mhm.
it's like an immediate. My blood is boiling.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing with your life?
Like, yeah, nobody pisses me off, in that realm like that. What is that motherfucker? The maniac man of many styles. He's the one who goes like, "I'm Mexican, fool. Of course I support ICE," and stupid shit like that. He ends up doing a lot of like TikTok shop material, but for the longest time, he was peddling alligator Alcatraz keychains, selling that shit to people when it was, in its quick little heyday. He was selling that shit. And it was so fucking funny too, because I ended up stitching his ass like the day after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Like he was stitching a leftist who was like celebrating or fucking singing a song or whatever the hell. And he did. I had to stitch this video because after he responded with, "How fucking sick in the head do you have to be to make a video, watch it over, and say shit like that and go, yeah, that's right, we'll post that shit." I'm like, you have several videos peddling shitty keychains while profiting off the death and human suffering of innocent people. Yay!
These are the Christians,
right?
These are the Christian folks. Super awesome. I honestly, my favorite thing now to their like comments and shit is to just agree with it, like what is that called? Like malicious compliance kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll say something off color, and I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, man!" Like one guy was like, "I bet if I showed you my hang down, you'd want to suck it." I was like, "Fucking present it, bro. What are you doing?
Lean in.
Don't talk about it. Be about it. Show me that meat stick."
Every time, especially when they come at you with that shit, because that to them that's the most egregious fucking thing that could possibly happen to them. Never mind these conditions in these facilities or what's going on in Gaza or whatever the fuck. That's the worst thing that can happen to them. So with shit like that, I guarantee you just lean in and they'll fuck off real quick.
Or my other favorite, especially this is more applicable to Facebook comments because goddamn,
that's a fun place.
There's a piece of me that just can't look away. You know what I mean? So every now and again I like to doom scroll,
especially if I'm fucking pissed off.
Yeah. If there's a video that like does any kind of numbers on Facebook, there's a flood of fucking MAGA comments.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's like septum ring theory, whatever dumb shit, same bullshit nonsense they've been saying for a decade.
Right.
But my favorite ones are from the ones that are from like obviously old people.
Yep.
And they're some of the nastiest ones. They get fucking down and dirty.
They
My
say
favorite
that
way to
shit.
respond to them is, "Don't worry, you're not much longer for this earth, and I will still have plenty of time to find a place when I need to relieve myself, to find your burial spot when I need to relieve myself."
Oh yeah.
That really gets under their skin. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. This
Yeah,
one
I
lady responded to me, was like, "Oh my god, you're so cruel." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
I like to kind of lean into
Wow.
it's like, "Oh my god, you got me, but I guess I'll take the consolation prize that you seem to not be soon for this world," and I'll do the fingers crossed emoji. Fucking bullshit.
It's great. It's great fun. It's a really good time.
I I just I just don't see how hard it is for somebody to just recognize that they're fucking, at least basic guidelines in terms of being a decent human being, right? Don't wish for the fucking pain and suffering of innocent fucking people. You can even throw the whole goddamn Hippocratic oath on that first, do no harm or all that kind of shit.
Well, remember,
And
I mean, even the most basic fucking rule that we were taught as kids by these very same people,
right,
do unto others.
right, the golden rule. Don't be a dick. Again,
Pretty self-explanatory, you
it
would
doesn't
think.
take that fucking long to sit there and say, if I do this, if I say this, would that make me a dick? If you have to fucking think about it, maybe don't do it
Yep.
unless that
Answer's probably
motherfucker
yes.
deserves it. But at the same time, like it's all this fucking stupid ass sensationalized fucking political theater bullshit that people are just not focused on the shit that they need to be focused on, i.e., human dignity and life.
Right. All
All
while at
kids,
the same time believing like we're the best, we're number one, we got it
right?
all.
Well, you
What do we
can't really
have, bro?
you can't really do that when you are that fucking confident, I guess. I guess it's easier for you to fucking, view somebody as beneath you to the point where you can justify atrocities committed to them essentially.
Yeah, because they're beneath you, right? They're
Yeah.
they're
And the
less than you.
rich,
They're not nearly as good as you because they were born somewhere else.
right. And
That makes
and
sense.
and the rich fucks fucking up this country are telling you that they're the problem. They're the reason why your life sucks. And now we got to put them in these fucking facilities at a breakneck speed so we can get more goddamn numbers
'Cause they're the most dangerous criminals.
to save your job because they're save your job, save your life, save your family because they are the
Right.
worst of the fucking worst.
Meanwhile, the economy lost 100,000 jobs with
Yep.
fucking, it's bleak out there for folks looking for jobs.
If you
Entire
were worried
teams get
about
sliced
if
and diced because of fucking AI. Like, it
I
is
was
a
gonna say, if you
never-ending
were
fucking
worried
joke.
about immigrant like labor and being, cheaper and taking all your fucking jobs, the one that's really gonna take your goddamn job is developed by the people running this fucking country now.
Mhm.
Like, they're gonna be the reason why you don't have a fucking job. Are you still really gonna sit there and bitch about the brown people when
Yeah,
they're
easily.
showing you straight up dead to fucking rights? Yeah, this is gonna probably replace your job. They're even saying it like completely
Oh,
fucking
dude,
deadpan as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter how apocalyptic the rhetoric is. They just are
yeah.
fucking stone face. It's like, yeah, it's probably gonna take your job, probably your life.
It's it's because of, I mean, I did a video on this, I think it was today, where I posted a video about this guy that was, like, basically talking a bunch of shit about, like, he was like, "If you're a musician and you're talking shit about AI artists, maybe it's because your music isn't that good," and blah, 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 and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, I did see that
he's
one.
he's mostly a rage baiter and all that shit, but,
Oh, of
like,
course, yeah.
the fact that you're that people like that exist, but people like that exist because there are other people who are willing to consume that shit, right?
Right.
Who are willing to listen to it and engage with it and all that stuff. It's not only destroying the arts, it's also destroying the jobs economy. It's destroy, like, bro, marketing teams are being fucking gutted because you don't need to hire all of these people. You can just pay for AI.
Nope. Yeah, no, it's fucked in my business for sure. It's
Yeah.
completely fucked my business. Because I mean, not only do I do designing and shit, I also do marketing shit. I mean, granted, let me know if I suck because I do the marketing for this show. So if you guys have any improvements, let me know. I have no fucking idea what
Please
I'm doing.
send your feedback and comments to we don't give a fuck at the millennialsaremad.com. Thank you so much.
Yep, yep. It's on the corner of get a map and fuck off. But either way, yeah, I mean, it's if I guess if I was hoping for anybody to, take it, if I was hoping you'd take anything from this fucking episode, this topic, these instances, these, of abuse and fucking dehumanization and, just treating people that have lesser than, scum, basically. Like, everybody's focused on the wrong goddamn thing. And I feel like, or I mean, multiple wrong goddamn things, whether it's culture war bullshit, whether it's the reflecting pool, whether it's, a myriad of different fucking things that's making, headline news at this fucking point, just to, shut everybody the fuck up essentially, or just have them focused on something else. But I feel like not enough people, and I mean, every day I see more and more people every fucking day, starting to speak up and whatnot. But I guess if there's anything I wanted you to take out of this episode is to speak the fuck up about this shit, especially when it comes to human life, dignity, you know, people suffering, especially at the hands of fucking just rich assholes who have no reason of doing this other than the bottom line or to keep their fucking, bigoted ass constituents happy
Yep.
and keep them, in power, essentially. Just
And
fucking start speaking up.
We were talking about, we talked a little bit about, trying to take a sip from a fire hose, or at least I've mentioned it a few times. I think I may have mentioned it either before the show when you and I were talking, or
I think it was
since
before
we've
the
been
show.
live, but
Yeah.
That's kind of what this news cycle is. What the news cycle has been over the last year and a half, nearly 2 years now. It's been trying to take a sip from a fire hose, and that's on purpose, and it's meant to keep you constantly distracted and unable to keep track of what is happening and unable to focus on any one thing. So don't focus on any one thing. Speak up about all of the things. Talk about the problems with ICE. Talk about the problems with the detention facilities and what's happening there. Talk about the problems with the fact that we're funding a genocide. Talk about the problems with all of the things that we've been talking about here. Be vocal about it. And it doesn't have to be in content, right? Not everybody does content. Not everybody does video. You don't have to do it that way. Do it in whatever way that you can, but be vocal.
Yeah. I mean, prioritize human life too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I am particularly fucking miffed at all the fucking uprooting of all these national parks and fucking wildlife refuges and all that kind of shit. I am miffed as fuck when it comes to that, especially for the border wall and the goddamn, rocket facility that Elon wants to build down here. Right.
Right.
Like, shit like that absolutely pisses me off. And it is a very important issue to highlight. And it will eventually, eventually fucking affect human beings. But as of right now, it's not what I need to be 100% focused on, at least in my opinion, in terms of you just only need to focus on primarily anything involving innocent fucking people.
Yeah.
Because like, if people are suffering and dying for no fucking reason and they're innocent fucking people and up to fucking kids, down to kids essentially.
And they're using your money to do it.
Yeah. And you're, willingly or unwillingly, regardless, you're paying for it.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, if you're to take anything from this, just make people your priority and not fucking profit. And I feel like the world would be a lot fucking better place if people had that fucking at least view on the world. And don't get me wrong, I'm the most pessimistic. I could be the most pessimistic, vengeful motherfucker on the planet, but I'm not gonna do horrible things to entire groups of people because of it.
Right.
Makes no.
I think that's the thing of it is like it doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
No.
I was one of the little quotes that I gave while I was at the Star Trek convention last week. I did a little little audio clip for somebody, and it all it takes is just giving a fuck. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
A whole lot of us, but that's all it takes is just giving a fuck. And there's a whole lot of things to give a fuck about, and it feels overwhelming a whole lot of the time.
Too fucking
but
much.
We all do what we can when we can, in between trying to survive in the day to day, trying to work, trying to find work, trying to make sure there's food on the table, the lights are on, et cetera, and just basic survival. We all do what we can when we can. It doesn't have to be content. It doesn't have to be anything big, but be vocal, pay attention. This is important shit. There's nothing. None of this is a game. Certainly not now. It's never been, of course, but certainly not now. People's lives are literally hanging in the balance.
I mean, share the content that people do make on it. Sign a petition. Donate to a decent cause. You can do something so small as just shutting your fucking based uncle up at the dinner table.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't take much, and you don't have to do it super publicly either, like we do. And I mean, fuck, we didn't expect to be this public about the shit, but I mean, that's how it kind of turned out.
Here we are.
And here we are with all of you, making a fucking podcast and working our asses off to try to at least get this information out and educate people, as well as fucking, hopefully offer some perspective to people who normally wouldn't listen to somebody who have even a broader perspective than we do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's
Yeah.
no illusions where, while I don't have any fucking delusions of having more fucking privilege for being the pastiest white motherfucker you've ever laid your eyes on. More
Not
people
that way.
tend, because that goes back to that, stigma of public opinion when it comes to the laws that these fucking bigots made and whatnot. We've
Sure.
gotten to that point where even my fucking dumbass is, granted more credibility than somebody miles fucking smarter than me. They just have a darker shade of their fucking skin.
Right. Right.
So especially if I said it in a few videos. I'm like, what the fuck are you scared of, white dudes? We got all the rights, more power than we're willing to fucking
Right.
admit. And we definitely don't have a fucking problem bitching when something pisses us off. Like, hi, nice to fucking meet you.
It's almost as if there's a negative connotation with being the minority. I wonder why
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I just feel like if you do that bare minimum of putting people as your priority in terms of the issues that you give a shit about, A, it's a lot more digestible in terms of what you feel like you need to care about. B, I mean, there's very fucking little that the side arguing that can stand on. Very
Yeah.
little they can stand on when it comes to that fucking argument. Like, you can throw out like, well, they got the worst of the worst. Is every single fucking one of them the worst of the worst? No.
Right.
Like
Well,
they
that's the way you have to do it too. You have to make them admit that what's happening is inhumane at the very least. And
on the
even if they can't admit it outright,
right.
force it until keep questioning their shit. That's why
Well,
they've been allowed to get as far as they have, because they've just been allowed to just say shit.
right. And they eventually tell on themselves as it is. I mean,
Right.
they either tell on themselves, get, actually maybe go, oh shit, maybe I am fucking wrong, or they'll just shut the fuck up altogether about it because they don't want to
Ooh,
talk about, the time
I
they got
wish.
dog walked for having a shitty fucking view of the world.
Yeah. Or you get
That's it.
blocked.
Or I mean, or if my favorite, speaking of Facebook, my favorite is when some asshole leaves like a shitty comment and then blocks me right after, so I can't fucking
Oh
respond
man.
to him.
It happened to me today. I went and switched to my other profile and found him and grabbed some pictures of him and responded. Like,
I
just
got a couple
FYI,
of those I need
just
to
because
do.
you blocked this page doesn't mean I can't find your dumbass.
Right, right. Well, shit, man, we've ran a little long on this one. We didn't take. Well, no, I guess the whole fucking episode was questions last week. Do we want to take questions just tonight, or
Yeah.
we want to
If y'all got questions, fire away.
questions,
Also,
comments, any facts
this
that I missed, which I'm pretty sure was a lot because I barely scratched the surface on this motherfucker. There's so
you did
much
miss
that
the
goes into this
floss, as
shit.
I understand it. So
Fuck you, dude.
so the other thing too is like this particular episode, it was probably very obvious to y'all, but like Grim did the heavy lifting, right? The Gaza episode, I did the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
The thing about all this is like
there can
all
definitely
of this is a learning experience for all of us, right? Like I'm sure there was some shit that I rattled off during the Gaza episode that caught Grim by surprise. There was some shit
yeah.
that
There's
he
a
said
couple.
tonight that caught me by surprise that I didn't know. There's a lot of this is just learning together, and that's all it's about. That's kind of where I was getting at with the whole, like, how important it is to speak up and speak out. You don't have to know everything, and sometimes it's just a matter of missing a little bit of context. But there's going to be a whole bunch of times where a whole bunch of us, including the two of us up here, are learning shit together.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think all things considered, I think we made it through. I mean, I'm a little bit sweaty, but I think that's related to other things. I had a bowl of Velveeta mac and cheese before this.
Jesus
So
fucking Christ, dude.
fuck you, that shit's delicious.
Carbo
Um,
loading.
any questions?
Yeah, there can be a
We
part two. I will tell you, I do
can
have
be.
kind of the benefit, me cutting those episodes down for more like streamlined episodes for people to listen to and whatnot. And I do have the benefit of re-listening, our episodes or to our
True.
episodes and whatnot. And yeah, dude, there's plenty of shit that, I didn't even catch while we were recording it or that I knew in the fucking first place. Like I think every single fucking time, whether I'm researching the topic or I'm just sitting and listening, like I learned something new every fucking time. And, I try to make it a point to be, somewhat versed in a lot of this shit. But
Damn, now I feel like a slacker. I got to go back and rewatch these episodes.
you don't gotta fucking.
Now I feel like a huge piece of shit.
We need the numbers, bro. So start fucking putting it all in the background.
Got to get some views under my belt.
But yeah, I guess in piggybacking off of that, we are now on Spotify. For those of you who have sent me countless comments saying, "Hey, motherfuckers, get off of YouTube and get on a podcast app because I won't listen any other goddamn way." Well, now we're on at least Spotify for now. I'm looking to where I can get it on any podcast platform we possibly can.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of behind the scenes shit that Ham and I are doing to make this experience at least worthwhile, as well as show our appreciation for you guys sticking with us, and a lot of shit that we can announce here pretty soon. We do have the Patreon up, which we're actually going to make some amendments to some of those perks to give you guys extra shit as well.
Eyebrows.
Yeah. In addition to the extra content, we're working on getting you guys like free merch for being subscribed.
Perks
like that.
Just
some extra perks, extra shout outs, all that good shit. Because while I know we're not the end all be all when it comes to raising awareness about these particular issues, I still view it as something that needs to exist to at least help the process of maybe getting things back to a better fucking place. At least that's how I justify it in my fucking head. I don't have any delusions of grandeur, but I also think that this is not hurting anybody. Like it's helping way more than it could possibly harm on any stretch. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we hurt a fucking, inbred's feelings with some of the shit that we fucking say.
I did my part.
You fucking shit. Jesus Christ. Well, let's see. Do y'all 2K gamers?
Oh yeah.
Fill air? Yes.
They hired a bunch of gamers to fill air traffic controller positions.
Jesus.
I don't know, man.
It's fucking Toontown. We fucking live in.
I don't know. I was just.
They hired fucking teenagers to go through everybody's fucking financial information. So they did nothing with that.
Yeah, fucking 20-something-year-olds and teenagers being like, "This government program is waste, fraud, and or abuse."
With perpetual deer in the headlights looks on their goddamn faces, have no idea what the fuck they were doing, are doing. It's fucking batshit, dude. And now they're air traffic controllers. I mean, what? There was just a fucking attack helicopter crash here in fucking Texas because of shit like that.
Where does Kid Rock live?
California.
Oh.
Yeah, he ain't down here in fucking Texas. He might have a place down here in Texas, but I know damn well he's in California. He probably has a place in fucking he's from Detroit too, though, isn't he?
I'm just a boy out here dreaming. You know what I mean? That's all.
Isn't he from Detroit? Isn't he from Detroit like fucking Eminem is?
He's not from Detroit. He's from what is it? Elk or Elm or something. He's from some fucking rich kid area near like Detroit.
Elkhurst or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know anything about Michigan geography or towns or whatever, but I know that he's from some rich kid fucking Nepo baby town.
Yeah.
Near Detroit. And he claims Detroit.
Yep. Pretty fucking much. But DEI is bad, right? Yeah, no fucking shit.
Was it Tennessee? I thought it was Kid Rock's house. Oh, it could have been. I mean, he's probably got multiple houses. I don't know how he's paying for multiple
houses. Was it in Tennessee? I thought that shit was in like LA.
Rochester.
You're killing your mother.
Gamers?
North of Detroit. Crazy. That's what it is.
He's from Michigan, but he claims Detroit, but he's not from Detroit.
Of course,
he's from a fucking rich kid town.
Yeah, you got a fucking shitty image to uphold, stupid motherfucker.
God damn it.
He can get the fuck out of Cali. Yeah, I mean, there's a few motherfuckers that moved down here that I wouldn't mind their swift exit from this.
Y'all also have Tom McDonald, so yikes. Yikes, he exists. What a fucking idiot. God, I hate that guy.
Like the notion of his existence just fucking infuriates me. That dude.
I hate everything about him. I hate his hair. I hate his face. I hate his tattoos. I hate all of it.
His content, his music, his
Every bit of it.
every single bit of that dumb motherfucker. And it was an Apache.
I've
That's
never
right. It was a goddamn Apache.
I've never been a xenophobic person, but he makes it flare up a little bit.
For Tom McDonald, I will be xenophobic.
Yeah. If I can be xenophobic specifically to one person, it's Tom McDonald. Yeah.
There's a few people I probably would argue.
Yeah, I mean, I could if I thought harder, I could probably lump some others in and make a group out of it.
No, 100%. I mean, like I said, there's plenty of fucking people that moved down here to Texas to escape the fucking super woke cities in California.
Oh.
And ironically moved to fucking places like Austin, which is the most woke city in fucking Texas.
But because you can't just dive right into the racism pool.
Yeah,
that's dangerous work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's a high dive.
You know damn well they don't have the sensibility to handle a sundown town, of which there are plenty in this fucking state alone.
I believe that.
I mean, and with all the fucking, mysterious hangings popping up and whatnot. I mean, it hasn't been a prime
mysterious
event happening here, but it's definitely in the Bible Belt. Was it Mississippi is where it's happening the most, isn't it? With these most recent strings.
Also unsurprising.
Which that was another thing I watched. I forget who the creator was, but he was talking about how it's like, oh, motherfucker, Mississippi, you're not going to get away with this shit anymore. Like, Alabama has to deal with shit. You pride yourself in keeping your asses out of the news, yet you fucking commit some of the most atrocious shit to people of color in your fucking
bunch of
state.
that. And it's all the fucking Bible Belt states. All of them.
Of course it is.
All of them. It's where all the most heinous shit happens, is in the Bible Belt.
It's where all the slavery happened. Or at least endured for as long as it fucking did. And in the name of Jesus. In the name of white Jesus.
White, blonde hair, blue-eyed baby Jesus. Don't
5 pounds, 6 ounce baby Jesus. Watching your baby Einstein developmentals.
I like baby Jesus the best.
Well, I guess that about covers it. Mal was definitely
lunatic.
fucking right. We can probably do part 2s on a few of these at this fucking point, because going back to editing the videos, I'm like, man, and I knew this, was definitely not even going to be close to scratching the fucking surface, but I at least wanted to evoke some kind of sense of urgency in anybody who wasn't feeling it before. But yeah, a lot of these subjects are barely fucking scratching the surface. And maybe when we get to the point where, maybe we have a little bit more freedom and, time to be able to even have, research help and all that kind of shit, we can start putting together a whole fucking series on this shit, because I would like to do complete deep dives where, this could be a place where you learn pretty much everything you need to know about a certain fucking issue that has plagued, this country or any fucking civilization preceding it. And yeah, I mean, we get to a point where, we can, start doing series and whatnot. I think we'll start doing a lot more, part 2.
We'll be doing some follow-ups for sure. I think. I mean, even in the Gaza episode, there was a shit ton of content that we just couldn't
get to at this point. Because I mean, essentially we try to cap it at 2 hours. It doesn't always work out that way. Now, granted, once I cut it down, it kind of gets that way. But in terms of a whole live deal, we try to cap it at 2 hours, and it's pretty damn near impossible to cover every single fucking nuance when it comes to this shit. But, in terms of giving the general idea, as well as some tidbits that could, help either perspective, arguments, whatever, that you can use in your arsenal to combat this shit in your own way, whether that's content or not. That's been my ultimate goal when it comes to this shit. So,
right.
But all right, guys. Well, thanks for fucking being ride or dies, man. I think I'm just like a shit ton of you that have been here every single goddamn episode. And honestly, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that shit. And I mean,
I appreciate the hell out of that stuff.
I think I can speak for Ham on that one. Yeah. I mean, we didn't know if this shit was going to last past fucking episode 1, but we cranked 4 of these bastards out, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Not to mention, expanding on it and, giving you guys some incentive to stick around, and whether that be from an informational capacity or some of the perks you get for fucking subscribing, doesn't really fucking matter. We're just glad you guys are here. Nice.
Yep. Yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out and continuing to, and please don't forget, like, subscribe, do the things. We appreciate the hell out of y'all.
Yeah, the prime platforms we're on are Twitch, YouTube, and now Spotify. I will be working on Apple Podcasts. I'll be working on a few things. And each of these things that we're doing behind the scenes, we're going to announce as they come, and we'll probably cover it at the top of each show before we even get into whatever we're discussing for that day. Um, so yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Check out, because I know me particularly, especially on TikTok, there are people that have followed me forever and they haven't seen any of my shit in months.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would recommend following not just us, but the shows, and check back if you're interested in any of these new perks or anything like that. Once we, announce them and whatnot, just keep checking back for that because you're going to miss it otherwise. But I can pretty much almost guarantee every episode, some kind of form. Any update will be addressed in a more detailed fashion. That way you guys can get all the information that you would possibly need. But yeah, but I guess we're done for this evening. Like I said, keep checking back at every single fucking possible profile we have on the internet right now, and more updates to come.
Cool beans.
All right, kids.
See y'all next week.
Lights.